Third captain? Watching Josie stand up. There was an uproar. Joe's. The one with the ability to shine fruit. The well-deserved crown prince of the Whitebeard pirates. If their father Whitebeard is the strongest man in the world, he is the backbone of the entire Moby Dick. Then Josie and other division captains are the mainstay of the White group. Josie's strength. Second only to Whitebeard and Marco. The squad captains have already come forward in person. The enthusiasm of the crew gradually began to heat up. Many people in the White group know very well that they are no match for Lin Yan. Keep fighting. There is only one place to be slaughtered. Now the captain takes action personally. Isn't it easy to teach a newcomer a lesson? Bring it on. After Lin Yan saw Chaozi, his eyes also shone with a strange light. Josie is not good with words, he just nodded silently. Same as Izo before. Because private fighting is prohibited within the Whitebeard group. Chaozi has long forgotten how long it has been since he took action. Let yourself try this person who defeated Izo to see how strong he is. Finished. Jose's devil fruit ability is released directly. On his body. Diamonds, like armor attached to them, appeared on his body in the blink of an eye. Only half of the face is exposed. The sun was shining down, and Josie, who was covered in diamonds, looked particularly dazzling. If Marco is the sharpest spear in the Whitebeard pirates, then Josie is the strongest shield of the Whitebeard pirates. Pretty awesome. Josie stepped on the deck, and the Moby Dick floating on the sea sank a little. And like a meteorite, he raised his diamond-covered fist and slammed it towards Lin Yan. Facing Josie's attack, Lin Yan did not dodge. A layer of square armament hockey covers his fist. Facing Josie, who rushed over, he threw a punch. Boom. The two fists collided together, hard to the point of fist to flesh. A wave of air centered on the two of them. It spread towards the surrounding area. The flag of their Whitebeard pirate group chirped. The aftermath that unfolded. The surrounding crew members were a little unsteady. After one punch, the two were equally divided. It's just that he's so fast, but his strength is actually so strong. As someone who has experienced Lin Yan's strength, Yizang has the most say in terms of speed. Lin Yan is very fast. So fast that even his observation hockey couldn't catch it. However, I never expected it, in terms of strength. Lin Yan's strength is as terrifying as ever. To know. Who is Josie? They are the strongest shield of the Whitebeard pirates. Nothing to say in terms of strength, except Dad. Almost no one can compete with him, but just today. Joes has met his match. Moreover, he encountered an opponent who was equal to him in terms of strength. So strong. Similarly, team captains such as Marco, Bista, and Namur also discovered this detail. As their captain, Whitebeard nodded repeatedly after seeing this scene, and he praised, "What a good idea." At this moment, the surrounding crew members of the Whitebeard pirates were so shocked that their jaws almost dropped to the ground. Especially after seeing the two of them fighting evenly with each other. Not to mention how shocked I was. Notice. Before that, Lin Yan fought more than 20 of their crew members in a row. And each crew member fought hundreds of moves. That's thousands of rounds. You are considered a cow. There must be a tiring day. Finally, we arrived at Lin Yan. Why does he seem to have unlimited physical strength? It's cheating, right? Of course. In addition to cheating, everyone also thought of the second reason. Perhaps. When he was dealing with these 20 people, he never showed his true strength at all. Think of this. Many people were shocked into a cold sweat. Possible. And the possibility is high. If his strength, far beyond the words of their usual crew, doesn't that mean? Today, the Whitebeard pirates have a total of 1,600 people on board. Are you being fooled around by a newcomer? There was only one thought in everyone's mind. F***ked by the F***king Big B. This new person starts from the beginning. A huge net was laid. Just waiting for these stupid young people to rush forward and plunge into other people's ponds. The crew of the Whitebeard pirates quickly figured out the whole story in a very short period of time. However, it's okay not to sort it out. After sorting it out, everyone suddenly felt uncomfortable, as if they had eaten flies during their meal. I'm crazy. In the past, they only heard about hurting others and cheating others without spitting out their bones. But that's just what I heard, after they actually met. The 1,600 people on the ship stared, collectively dumbfounded. Pity. No one cares about their feelings now. The battle between Lin Yan and Chaozi continues. Josie is truly the top warrior of the Whitebeard pirates. Especially the defensive abilities that the shining fruit gives him. That's all if the power is infinite. His whole body was as hard as a lump. A stroke of meat. The defense alone is enough for Lin Yan to drink a pot. Not to mention that Joz has extensive combat experience. Mutual exchange. After several battles, Lin Yan rarely took advantage of him. Think about it too. Chao Zi is the deputy of the white group. What is the status of the deputy? That is an existence that can compete with Admiral. Able to benchmark against Admiral. How could Chao Zi be weak? But Chao Zi also frowned slightly. He also felt uncomfortable. The pressure Lin Yan put on him was really too much. Maybe his strength can be equal to Lin Yan, but in terms of speed, Lin Yan crushed him by a large margin. If it weren't for the hard defense of the shiny fruit. I'm afraid Josie is already at a disadvantage now. And listen to Yizhang say. Lin Yan seems to be a demon fruit power. It took such a long time to fight Lin Yan from beginning to end. Haven't even taken out his devil fruit yet. It can be seen that this guy is probably even stronger than himself. Josie became even more solemn. Listen to Yizhang, you are also demon fruit power. Use all your strength. Chaozi shouted towards Lin Yan. Use all your strength. Chaozi shouted towards Lin Yan. The crew around them heard this. Everyone raised their heads suddenly. Wait. What did the captain say? Devil fruit. Is this guy still a demon fruit power? No. It can't be. How can this be? If he had devil fruit ability, why didn't he use it when he dealt with 20 of our crew members before? The crew members were all on pins and needles with shock, and their scalps were numb. Notice. Devil fruit has the ability to make people reach the sky in one step. But the negative effects are also particularly significant. Almost 99% of demon fruit power relies heavily on its own fruit ability. The most famous among them is Perusalino, one of the 3 marine admirals. Zephyr once asserted, Kizaru if not corrected in time. He who relies on sparkling fruit will suffer big losses sooner or later. But Lin Yan was obviously demon fruit power, but when he faced 50 or 60 of their crew members. This capability has never been used. What does this mean? Represents what? This new person in front of me. I'm afraid I haven't even used 30% of my strength. No, not even 30%. Only less than 30% of the strength. Then they crushed all the crew members of the Whitebeard pirates. Although the strength of the crew members is not as good as that of the captain, they are still among the best. Otherwise, they wouldn't be rated as the strongest pirate group by the world. The crew members were stunned from ear to ear. This new person. How high has his strength reached? Gula la la la. Looking at the restless crew members, Whitebeard nodded. He wants it. This is the situation. At the same time, Whitebeard also looks at Lin Yan differently. This guy Lin Yan. Be strong and have strength. Be able and capable. You can trick people without spitting out their bones. If only I had half his witty demeanor when I was younger. It won't take so many detours. In Lin Yan, Whitebeard rarely saw the shadow of his youth. Talking about Lin Yan. Listen to Joz. Lin Yan just smiled slightly. He said, Captain Josie, you are very strong and your defense is unparalleled in the world, but under the hard shield, there is a fatal weakness. Have you discovered it? Chaozi squinted his eyes and looked Lin Yan up and down. What's the weakness? It's not just Josie. Marco, Yi Zhang, and even Whitebeard all set their sights on Lin Yan. Waiting for his next words. You'll know right away. Lin Yan, however, calmly sold it out. He didn't explain either. Boom. Josie was not affected, and the battle between the two sides began again. The people watching the battle thought Lin Yan's so-called discovery of flaws and weaknesses was just lip service. But the next scene. But it surprised everyone. Just when Chaozi and Lin Yan were fighting equally. Suddenly. In Lin Yan's eyes. A scarlet bloody light burst out. The mysterious Magatama mark was printed in his pupils. Sharingan. Yes. What Lin Yan cast was none other than Mangekyo Sharingan. After turning on Sharingan, Lin Yan did not cast Kamui, he simply said 2 words, illusion. Jose's advantage is his excellent defense, but the weakness is precisely because his defense is too strong. In Summit War, Jose fends off Hawkeye, hammers Akainu, bumps Aokiji, and fights off Kizaru. It can be said, he beat almost everyone who could be beaten. But only when I got to Brother Ming. But he was taught how to be a good person. With just a few wires, Josie was controlled, because this time. As the royal deputy, Josie almost lost his reputation. To know. What was Doflamingo's expression when he faced Jack the Drow? I broke out in a cold sweat and felt weak in my heart. What's your expression when facing Aokiji? Aokiji wants a face, Doflamingo dare not give it. But when it comes to Josie, I was taught how to be a good person directly by the forehand and backhand. Be as aggrieved as you want. Defend when you succeed, and defend when you fail. This is Josie's most fatal weakness, of course. Lin Yan's illusions are the most basic. It's easy to deal with ordinary people. But when you face a powerful enemy, it may not be miraculous. But, caught off guard, this is quite easy. After opening Mangekyo Sharingan, the illusion is activated. As expected. Faced with Lin Yan's sudden attack. How could Josie stop him? He was hit hard, and his pupils suddenly became absent-minded. His whole body was frozen in place, immediately afterwards. In the midst of the shocked eyes of everyone on the Moby Dick. Just listen to it plop. Josie, who had high hopes, fell to the ground. Watching Josie fall. This moment. Everyone on the Whitebeard Pirates fell silent for a brief moment. After a long while, there was a commotion at the scene. Failed. Defeated? Captain Joz actually lost? How can it be? That's our squad leader. The previous crew members lost to Lin Yan. Even if they paid the tuition, they accepted it. But who is Josie? That was the captain of the 3rd Division of their Whitebeard Pirates. The chief lieutenant of the Whitebeard Pirates. The top combat power of the Whitebeard Pirates. Now even the captain has lost to this newcomer. This. The crew members felt dizzy and unbelievable. The face should be as shocked as possible, except for the crew. Marco, Beasta and others also stood up directly. Looking at Josie who fell to the ground. Their faces couldn't be calm either. Just. Used by Lin Yan. What is the ability? Within their field of vision. Only Lin Yan's eyes were seen glowing red. Then Josie collapsed. Why? Why does this happen? I knew this guy had something to hide. Yi Zhang slapped the case and stood up. He took a breath and said. On Lin Yan's body. There are so many things he doesn't understand. The most important thing is, this guy is ridiculously strong. Ding. Congratulations host, your mission has been updated. Mission 2. Defeat 3 enemies with a bounty of 300 million in 10 days. Current progress. Defeat Izo, the captain of the 16th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, who has a bounty of 510 million, and defeat Josie, the captain of the 3rd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, who has a bounty of 1.040 billion Baileys. Current task progress. 2/3, complete the mission to get 20 bait. At this time, after Josie collapsed, Lin Yan's mission has also been refreshed. Obviously. Distance to complete the task. Just the last step. Captain Joz, are you okay? People from the medical department ran out immediately. After checking Chaozi, they had no clue at all, so they could only ask Lin Yan, the instigator. It's okay. Just let him sleep for a while. Lin Yan just waved his hand and replied calmly. Who else wants to come up and try? He began to greet his next opponent. At this moment, there was no longer any voice of doubt on the entire Moby Dick. I'll try. After Josie was carried off, Captain Beasta of the 5th Division stood up. He touched his mustache. He placed his other hand on his long knife. Beasta. The top swordsman of the Whitebeard Pirates. If the world's best swordsman is Mahawk, so the man who is most likely to threaten him, the man who aspires to be the next world's best swordsman, is Beasta. Facing Beasta. Lin Yan said to Whitebeard, Captain Whitebeard, who can lend me a sword? Borrow a sword? When Whitebeard heard this, his eyes flashed with surprise. Could it be? Soon, his thoughts were confirmed. It is Lin Yan's intention to use swordsmanship. Signing with Beasta. In addition to physical skills and strength, Lin Yan's swordsmanship is also at a superb level. Skills. Sword skills, 7100ths, physical skills, 7100ths, marine 6 styles, 7100ths. Not long after, a sword was brought to Lin Yan's eyes. The confrontation between Lin Yan and Beasta is about to break out. In addition to swordsmanship, the competition in swordsmanship is speed. Certainly, Lin Yan's swordsmanship is outstanding. But compared to Beasta, who had been practicing swordsmanship for many years, he was still a bit behind. But in terms of speed, this is Lin Yan's advantage. Both sides come and go. I can't tell which one is stronger and which one is weaker for now. But in the eyes of the crew of the Whitebeard pirates. But it's a different scene. Use power to counter Joz. Use sword skills to fight Beasta. They only used less than 30% of their power to sweep through the Whitebeard pirates. How long does it take to practice hard to reach such heights as him? More importantly, how old does Lin Yan look? Early 20s. In age, it's about the same age as Ace, the captain of their second division. At such a young age, his strength is far ahead of theirs. The crew of the Whitebeard pirates were completely numb. Genius? Genius? No, 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 this is a peerless monster. Even their father when he was young was probably nothing more than this. Next. Even if there are any shocking and unexpected situations, they won't be shocked anymore. After all, during the fight with Lin Yan, Beasta was still defeated. But, in the attainments of swordsmanship, Beasta did not lose. Ding, congratulations host, your mission is completed. Mission 2. Defeat 3 enemies with a bounty of 300 million in 10 days. Current progress. Defeat Izo, the captain of the 16th division of the Whitebeard pirates, who has a bounty of 510 million belly. Defeat Joz, the captain of the 3rd division of the Whitebeard pirates, who has a bounty of 1.040 billion belly. Defeat 780 million belly, the leader of the 5th division of the Whitebeard pirates, Beasta. Congratulations to host for completing the mission and getting 20 bait. After Beasta, Lin Yan's mission was also successfully completed. Got 20 baits, but at this moment, the other division captains were also excited to try it. Captain 7, Captain 8, and Captain 15 all came forward to challenge. Face their invitation. Lin Yan refused directly. His mission was accomplished. There is not much point in fighting anymore. And this banknote has been piled up into a hill. Bit off more than you can chew. It's time to stop. Listen to Lin Yan's rejection. The faces of all the captains showed disappointment. The crew of the Whitebeard pirates watched Lin Yan skillfully collect money. Their hearts are bleeding. The money, they were all sent there. But whatever you say now is useless. They broke their teeth and swallowed it. After this battle, Lin Yan's strength, it has been recognized by everyone on the ship. It goes without saying what status Joz and Beasta have in the Whitebeard pirates. That is an existence that can compete with Shichibukai and Admiral. Lin Yan killed 2 of their division captains in one go. Let alone Admiral level, even if it's not as good as the real Admiral. But he also touched the threshold. Think of this. The crew members became even more confused. Right. First, Dad personally recruited, and then all division captains attended. Can they allow the Whitebeard pirates to launch such a large battle? Except for the strong ones at the Admiral level. Who else can have such treatment? Thinking about how I behaved like a clown before. Everyone has the urge to slap themselves. What are you doing? When other forces learned that a strong man of Admiral level was willing to join their pirate group. Who on the ship didn't welcome him with his hands and feet raised high? The result is the Whitebeard pirates, but he is eager to kick others off the boat. Have a look. Is this something a human being can do? Many crew members were disturbed by their previous impulsive behavior. Just when everyone was ashamed, Whitebeard stood up and glanced around the entire Moby Dick with his sharp eyes. Is the fight over? His voice was loud, spread throughout the decks of the Moby Dick. The crew slowly raised their heads. Doubts arose in my heart. I don't understand why Dad would stand up now. But soon, Whitebeard's dull voice weighed heavily on the crew's hearts. Lin, you are very powerful, so powerful that even Izo, Joz, and Beasta are no match for you. Honestly, even I was very surprised by today's match in the ring. You are too strong. In you, I see my unlimited potential. But do you know why I arranged this duel today? Showdown. Lin Yan had a meal first. Then he came to his senses. Was this duel planned by Whitebeard? Whitebeard looked at the astonished Lin Yan, and he continued to say calmly, what kind of atmosphere is our Whitebeard pirate group now? I think, after getting along for a short time, Lin, you should also be able to see it. Looking across from here, who is not arrogant? It's just that I personally come out to entertain the newcomers. 1 or 2 of them can't accept it. If this continues, sooner or later, we will suffer a big loss. To be honest, today I really want to use your hands to rectify this unhealthy trend. Lin Yan was silent. It seems, Whitebeard did notice this scene. Whitebeard's eyes swept over the more than 1,600 people present one by one, and he said in a stern voice. Haven't you always been as high as the sky? Why is it that today here in Lin, This dignity has been trampled on and is worthless. Have you been standing on the top of the mountain for too long without suffering any setbacks, and have you begun to develop a deformed sense of superiority? The world's #1 pirate group, the leader of the 4 emperors of the New World, has been praised by the outside world and has lost himself. Yelling is arrogant and short-sighted. Do you think you can now assume your identity as a member of the Whitebeard Pirates? Listen to Whitebeard's reprimand. Those crew members didn't know the abnormal sense of superiority in their hearts. Everyone lowered their heads in frustration. Forest. They had never heard of it before. Nowadays, someone pops out randomly. Just kill indiscriminately on the Moby Dick. They were beaten until they were unable to fight back. Faced with such a situation, what qualifications do they have to be arrogant? I hope you will remember today's defeat and don't think about how you did in the past, allowing arrogance to cause trouble. Under Whitebeard's reprimand, it's very quiet aboard Moby Dick. Like a child who has been punished, he lowered his head and was scolded. Whitebeard had a straight face. After the atmosphere was almost brewing, he asked Lin Yan with a serious face. Lin, tell them, how long have you been practicing? In his thoughts, Lin Yan is so strong, and still so young. Day after day, I must have never slackened off in practicing. This time, it was Lin Yan's turn to be speechless. Well, does practicing for a year count? Of course. Of course he wouldn't say that. Lin Yan's expression was like that of a rabbit facing the tycoon Saudi Arabia. He slightly stretched out 3 fingers with a guilty conscience and said, 3 years. Maybe. In fact, he wanted to say 2.5 years. After thinking about it, I decided to forget it. In addition to being scolded, I would also be sent a green corpse letter. Don't go beyond the thunder pool even half a step. Nani? Have you been practicing for 3 years? Cough cough cough. Whitebeard coughed and choked. It took 3 years to achieve such strength. Real or fake? But Whitebeard immediately said, take a closer look. In just 3 years of practice, I have beaten you to the point where you can't find anything. How can you sleep? What qualifications do you have to not work hard? Whitebeard's voice echoed in all directions. Suddenly, the enthusiasm of many crew members is gradually heating up. Dad was right. In recent years, since Roger surrendered, Golden Lion has been imprisoned. After the Whitebeard Pirates, they are the only ones left of the 3 great pirates of the old era. Look around the world. They, the Whitebeard Pirates, are invincible. Gradually, they became greedy for pleasure. If this continues, sooner or later someone will catch up. They have to work hard. Sorry. Suddenly, a crew member walked up to Lin Yan and apologized directly. Whether it's because of Lin Yan's strong strength or because of their previous Yilang's arrogant character. Bottom line, the fault is all on their side. Sorry. Please forgive us for being abrupt before. All beginnings are hard. With the first person start, more than 1,600 people at the scene also apologized to Lin Yan. Looking at the crew members below, they all changed their previous proud and complacent attitude. A smile gradually appeared on Whitebeard's calm face. This is the original appearance of their Whitebeard Pirates. He didn't want to. The huge Whitebeard pirate group that he has been running for 40 or 50 years. Because pride and conceit become a mess. Talk about it. The reason why the matter was resolved so quickly today. It all depends on Lin Yan's excessive strength. And Whitebeard also saw the unlimited potential in Lin Yan. For such a neutral strongman, if missed, then he's not Whitebeard. He waved one hand and said to Lin Yan, Lin, thank you for helping me. I want to ask you again, are you willing to join the Whitebeard Pirates? This is the second time Whitebeard has extended an invitation to Lin Yan. Listen to Whitebeard. Lin Yan would like to say that he has no worries at all. This is impossible. After all, as a hammy, who wouldn't be interested in the Whitebeard Pirates? But Lin Yan's legs are slightly clustered. He thought of the future situation of the Whitebeard Pirates. From peak to decline, from peak to trough. Heard about it a while ago. The captain of the 4th team was assassinated by Teach, and Ace, the captain of the 2nd team, was already on his way to hunt down Teach. What does this mean? Soon after, an unprecedented summit war from the pirate world is about to break out. Summit War. This is a major event in the entire history of pirates, and it is also the biggest battle since the beginning of the Great Pirate Age. It is also a turning point for the Whitebeard Pirates from prosperity to decline. The final outcome is, Whitebeard was killed, Ace was killed, and the Whitebeard Pirates were destroyed. The Whitebeard Pirates, which had been in business for 40 or 50 years, fell apart overnight. From then on, he failed to recover and fell from the throne of the Sea Emperor. Own. In fact, it is completely possible to stay outside the world without having to wade through this muddy water. After pondering for a while, Lin Yan refused. I'd better refuse. Whitebeard was stunned for a long time. The squad leader was dumbfounded. Everyone on the ship was shocked, to be honest. If we miss such a talent, even Whitebeard felt a little distressed. But others have already rejected it twice, in words of invitation. It's also obviously a bit inappropriate, just when the scene reached a stalemate. But I saw Yi Zhang coming up from behind. Lin, you have already boarded our ship, and things have developed to this point, just agree to Dad's invitation. And even if you have a grudge against our Whitebeard Pirates crew members, they have all apologized before. Listen to what Izo said. The crew members also echoed. Yes, I admit that we made mistakes before. If you are still not satisfied, you can give us a slap. As long as you calm down, we will let you do whatever you want. Give you a slap? Lin Yan couldn't laugh or cry when he heard this. Yi Zhang looked at Lin Yan, who hesitated. He knew there was something going on. As the saying goes, the professional must be relevant. If you use ordinary things, you may not be able to attract Lin Yan. Yi Zhang knew that painting a pie would not have much effect on Lin Yan. You have to show your true feelings. What a coincidence. Something Lin Yan likes. Izo happened to know. So he smiled and quickly added, Lin, as long as you stay, I will ask Dad to give you 4 times your salary. 4 times. Hear this. Lin Yan's ears twitched and he immediately captured the key information. Well. Look at Lin Yan's reaction. This is more than just a show. This is Cupid's arrow, hitting the bull's eye with 1 arrow. Let's do this. I'll apply to Dad and my salary will be increased tenfold. All other benefits will remain the same. Yi Zhang raised his eyebrows and said with a look of understanding. He also showed his true skills. At the same time, it comes with extremely tempting conditions. Izo continued. Lin, not only the salary, but also the benefits of our pirate group are extremely generous. As long as you are willing, there are many kinds of benefits that you can't even imagine. 10 times your salary is in front of you. Who can refuse this? Lin Yan turned his head. He and Yi Zhang looked at each other and smiled, and said, deal. Ha 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 ha, Lin, welcome to join our Whitebeard Pirates. Lin Yan is willing to join. The whole ship was very happy. The more powerful people on Moby Dick, the stronger their background. Certainly. Lin Yan also made a request. He doesn't call Whitebeard his father. Listen to Lin Yan's request. Whitebeard waved his hand indifferently. Lin Yan has just joined their Whitebeard Pirates family. It is natural to not adapt. Whitebeard is also used to seeing similar scenes. He will use his own actions, and he will use his own love. Let him Lin Yan accept himself, and recognize yourself. La 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 la, a new crew member has joined, let's have a lively banquet. Whitebeard shouted boldly to the many crew members. A brightly lit banquet was held aboard the Moby Dick. Everyone rushed to toast Lin Yan. Everyone is a hero in wine. Downed a few glasses of wine. The trouble that had occurred before disappeared in the blink of an eye. The scene was full of hilarity. Lin Yan was also moved by the lively atmosphere and began to get involved. Just when the Whitebeard Pirates were thriving. The other side. A piece of news about the Whitebeard Pirates. By way of the phone bug, reached Naval Headquarters. The Whitebeard Pirates are the current 4 Emperors group. Marine monitors many of their actions very carefully. Even in the waters surrounding the Whitebeard Pirates. There are also many undercover agents from their marine. Now. A colonel. Holding a phone bug in hand, he arrived at Marshal Marine's office as quickly as possible. Report to the Marshal. There's news from Whitebeard. The colonel quickly handed over the phone bug in his hand. In Marine's office, there were 3 people sitting at attention. The man among them, wearing a long robe and covered with honors, held the senbei in his hand and bit it one bite after another. Every bite made a crisp sound. It's like chewing potato chips. He has gray hair, but his old face is filled with vicissitudes of life, but he looks full of vigor and determination. He is none other than legendary hero of Marine, Garp the Fist. A pair of bone fists. Roger was once cornered. Regarded as a godlike existence by Marine, behind Garp. The man was wearing a blindfold, he was half reclining in a chair. He crossed his legs, closed his eyes, and was half asleep. He is Kuzan, one of the current 3 Marine admirals. Code name Iokiji. In the center of the office, under 2 large plaques with the Gate of Justice printed on them. He is the current Marshal of Marine, the highest authority in Marineford, and the Supreme Commander of Marine. Buddha's Sengoku. The resourceful general, the king of the old days. Together with Garp and Tsurugi, they form the Marine Iron Triangle. I once relied on my ability to strategize and win thousands of miles away. An existence that once made the 3 great pirates of the old era, including Golden Lion, Whitebeard, and Roger, gnash their teeth with hatred. Listen to the noise coming from the Whitebeard pirates. Garp stopped eating senbei. Aokiji also lifted half of his blindfold. Sengoku said calmly, "Bring it up, soon." News that the Whitebeard pirates have recruited a new crew member. Known by Sengoku, Garp, and Aokiji, it stands to reason. The Whitebeard pirates recruit new crew members. This is a normal thing. Their Marines also recruit troops from around the world every year. Nothing unusual, but here's the problem. When I learned that this newcomer had just landed on the Moby Dick. Then he swept away the entire Whitebeard pirates. Even when he defeated many division captains such as Josie, Beasta, and Izo in a row. The eyes of the 3 people flashed with strange colors. Oh? It looks like Whitebeard has recruited a great guy. Aokiji straightened his body, sat up and said. Killing several division captains in a row, this strength is at least the first line level. Garp also nodded slightly. Forest. Looking at this name, Sengoku thought about his memory. He had never heard such a name before. Who is this person? Marshal. Our people investigated before arriving and found that there was no reward for this person in the Marine Library's reward list. The Colonel has already made complete work and preparations. Listen to the Colonel. Not Marine. Not a pirate either. Look. Be a neutral person. He lost several division captains in a row. The key is, what is the strength level of these division captains? Not to mention Izo and Beasta. Josie is one of the few people in the Whitebeard pirates who has a bounty of more than 1 billion. Preliminary estimates. The strength of this newcomer. At least it starts with 1 billion, starting from 1 billion. What is this concept? And more importantly, you just randomly grabbed a handful on the ocean, and you hit the jackpot. That's Whitebeard's luck. Why is it so good? Why can't Marine recruit such talents? This damn Whitebeard, he finally lost a 4th captain, Saki, a while ago, and now he has an extra captain, Lin, who is shoulder to shoulder with the other captains. No one else has this kind of luck. Sengoku frowned slightly, with concern on his cold face. He rubbed his temples. These years, since Roger announced One Piece, the era of great navigation has begun. Their Marine's dominance on the sea has become worse than it was before. Especially there are more and more pirates on the sea. There are countless strong people. Marine management is becoming more and more difficult. 4 seas, the first half of the Grand Line, New World. There are an astonishing number of pirates everywhere. It caused a lot of trouble for Marine, therefore. Sengoku realized that as a marshal, it was time for him to take action. Do something. Take a look at this sea. In terms of strength and influence. The Whitebeard pirates are unparalleled, therefore. After deliberation, Marine has decided to launch a series of operations against the Whitebeard pirates. The leader of the times, it's time to extinguish it. Whitebeard became Sengoku's #1 target for extermination. But facing the overlord of the New World, how should the Whitebeard pirates, one of the 4 emperors, act? For Marine, this must be considered in the long term. Not long ago. Because of a dark fruit, Saki, the captain of the 4th division of the Whitebeard pirates, was killed in battle. This is for Marine. This is nothing less than huge news. The captain plays an important role in the Whitebeard pirates. Now the squad leader has lost one. The strength of the Whitebeard pirates is even weaker. Ben thought. Use this aspect as a breakthrough point for planning. Who knows how long it has been? The Whitebeard pirates have been supplemented by another captain-level combat force. This is also the reason why Sengoku has a headache. The position of marshal, it's really hard to be a good person. Long-time planning. The white hair on Sengoku's head is also increasing day by day. Well, Sengoku leaned back in his chair. If only he were a neutral person like Lin. How great would it be to be dug out by their Marines first? Garp, please go down and pay close attention to the movements of the Whitebeard pirates. Before we have a confrontation with the Whitebeard pirates, there must be no other episodes. Sengoku has never been a regretful person, although he is regretful, that's all. He immediately sent Garp on his way. because I got the news for the first time. It is not appropriate to post a bounty hastily. I can only pay attention to it for now. I will make plans in the future. Okay. Garp agreed immediately. The meeting is over. Sengoku motioned for everyone to step back. However, at this moment when Sengoku and others ended the meeting, this side of the Grand Line, but there was no peace at all. The rise to fame was just beginning. Although Lin Yan is not very popular, only a handful of people know him. But he is not popular. The popularity of the Whitebeard pirates is not low. The heat of the white ball even overshadowed Marines. Take a look at this sea. Who dares not to know the Whitebeard pirates? As the leader of the New World 4 emperors, naturally countless people follow them. Especially those in the media. After learning the news about Lin Yan. After they returned, they immediately released news and released the details of the Whitebeard pirates recruiting a new crew member. If it's an ordinary recruitment, that's it. When informed. When this newcomer landed on the Moby Dick forcefully and swept across the huge Whitebeard pirates in his strongest form. All of a sudden. 1 passed to 10 and 100 to pass. The entire Grand Line is in a commotion. A lot of people think very much the same way. What is the status of the Whitebeard pirates in this sea? How strong are the people on the ship? Just grab any passerby on the Grand Line and you'll get the answer. Now. The Whitebeard pirates are at their peak. He was actually swept away by a newcomer. Damn it. Especially when you see the detailed reports. For example, after the scene about how the newcomers defeated those division captains. Many people actually took a breath of cold air. At first, they sighed that this Lin's strength was extraordinary. Secondly, I was surprised. The Whitebeard pirates found a treasure this time. Such a strong crew to join. The overall strength of their Whitebeard pirates. Going to the next level again. New World. Red hair pirates here. Lin. Who is this person? The sun was shining and the sky was clear. After Shanks delivered Bailey to the seagulls, he opened today's real-time headlines. However, what caught my eye was what happened to the Whitebeard pirates. After learning that this newcomer had defeated Josie, Beasta, Izo and other captains in a row. Even Shanks had a surprised look on his face. This Lin. He is not simple. Vice Captain Ben Beckman also fixed his eyes on the newspaper. Inside a castle. As one of the 7 warlords of the sea, Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman, crossed his legs. His eagle-like pupils scanned the newspaper in his hand sharply. He held his head with one hand and frowned deeply. The other hand was holding a newspaper. Lin, his attainments in kendo are not as good as those of Ebista. Let's talk about the obsession with kendo, Hawkeye said second. No one dares to say first. Even the red-haired Shanks had to step aside. And Beasta is one of the few men who can threaten his throne as the world's best swordsman. Even Beasta lost to Lin Yan. This Lin's swordsmanship. How far has his attainment reached? Mihawk gradually became curious. Naval headquarters. Oh hey. I actually defeated so many powerful enemies from the Whitebeard pirates. Kizaru had just rushed back to Marineford. However, the news about the Whitebeard pirates came upon them. He put one hand in his pocket, and a slight smile appeared on his wretched face. It's really scary. Humph, he's just a clown. If he dares to appear in front of me, I will tear him to pieces. Behind Kizaru, Akainu finished reading the newspaper. Fists light fire. The newspaper turned into powder in the high-temperature magma. The faint firelight reflected on Akainu's indifferent face. IWC. Cake Island. Mama, Whitebeard, you have occupied the title of the first of the 4 emperors for many years. You are really getting better and better with each passing day. It's time to give up this title. After the ant finished reading the newspaper, she shook her head. Never thought of it. The Whitebeard pirates who have not been in contact for so many years. He was so weak that he looked like this, just a new guy. They swept away their huge pirate group. Wanokuni. Ghost Island. Oh. Has the Whitebeard pirates reached this point? They are really old and no longer useful. Kaido raised his chin, looked at the newspaper in his hand and took a sip of wine. A pair of eyes full of arrogance. He has coveted this position at the top of the 4 emperors for a long time. It seems. Soon. The Emperor of the Sea may abdicate. Think of this. There was a hint of viciousness in Kaido's eyes. The first half of the Grand Line. Panero Islands. Blackbeard dragged his tired body slowly and walked out of the ruins step by step. A large amount of cold sweat kept dripping on the ground. Blackbeard looked extremely embarrassed. However, compared to his own embarrassment, Blackbeard laughed wildly. Tisk ha 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 ha. Second captain, I didn't expect that you would have such an ending. Next to Blackbeard, a man is lying on the ground. He was covered in bloodline and battered. His whole body was covered with dark black matter. Behind his back, the iconic tattoo of the Whitebeard Pirates is reflected above. He is the current 2nd Division captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. Fire Fist Ace. Why is Ace here, covered in bloodline and unconscious? Turn out to be just today, when Lin Yan swept the Whitebeard Pirates. On this Panero Island, a fierce confrontation also broke out. On one side is Fire Fist Ace, the captain of the 2nd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates. The other party is Marshal Teach, who soon betrayed the Whitebeard Pirates after obtaining the Dark Fruit. Before that, they have been grudges for a long time. Blackbeard and Ace didn't even speak a few words when they met. After meeting, they got into a fight over a disagreement. Mara fruit meets dark fruit. It's a hair-trigger situation here in Panero Island. The two sides fought until the sky was dark and the earth was dark, with no light from the sun or the moon. Even this small island was flattened by the confrontation between the two. Blackbeard is scarred though, but the excitement in his eyes could not be suppressed. Nothing else. Fire Fist Ace is the captain of the 2nd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates. Defeated at his hands. Tisk ha 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 ha. Second captain, thank you for personally giving me such a generous gift. In return, I will use the method of destroying the Whitebeard Pirates to thank you. Blackbeard's eyes flashed with madness. The reason why I joined the Whitebeard Pirates back then. Blackbeard's purpose is clear. He just wanted to stay dormant within the Whitebeard Pirates, waiting for the opportunity to soar into the sky. Now dark fruit has arrived. It ignited his ambition. His goal has never been to succeed him as captain or 7 warlords of the sea. From beginning to end, Blackbeard has only one goal. That is to replace the Whitebeard Pirates, set up another throne, become a sea emperor in the new era. Thinking of the plan he had been planning for many years. Thinking of the future that I have been planning for a long time. I even think about the future that is within reach. Blackbeard could hardly suppress the throbbing in his heart. And all this. Let's start with the ace in front of us and the Whitebeard Pirates. Just at this time, Burgess from the Blackbeard Pirates delivered the newspaper. Burgess said, "Boss, there is news about the Whitebeard Pirates." On the news, Blackbeard naturally also saw that the Whitebeard Pirates had recruited a new member. Forrest? Although Blackbeard was physically exhausted, he didn't take Lin Yan in the newspaper seriously at all. A new person. How big of a stir can it make? He was just looking forward to it. After the Whitebeard Pirates are about to be destroyed. This new person. Do you regret the idea of joining the Whitebeard Pirates today? Van Oka, contact Marine and tell them we have a big deal that they need to take over. Blackbeard didn't stay too long either, after capturing Ace. Immediately, first started contacting Marine non-stop. The undercurrent of the Grand Line. From this moment on. It's gradually brewing. I'm talking about Lin Yan. After Yizang settled Lin Yan. Next. He began to introduce to Lin Yan the various facilities of their Whitebeard Pirates, as well as the current situation on the Moby Dick. About 3 to 5 hours, Lin Yan also understands everything. At this time, Yi Zhang smiled awkwardly at Lin Yan and said, "Can I ask you a favor? Help?" Lin Yan paused. Yi Zhang has already applied for 10 times his salary. It's just a small favor, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter if you say so. Can we two have another fight? Yi Zhang said with an expectant look in his eyes. Lin Yan heard this. He looked sideways at Izo. Didn't we compete before? Lin Yan asked a little puzzled. Lin, I won't beat around the bush with you anymore. Ever since I competed with you, I feel that I am lacking in many aspects, whether it's strength or ability. And more importantly, after losing to you, my overall ability has improved a lot. So, how about we do it again? Izo said with a look of excitement in his eyes. Listen to what Izo said. Lin Yan smiled. He thought it was some serious trouble. Okay. After agreeing, the two sides suddenly came to an open space. This is the island under the jurisdiction of the Whitebeard Pirates. Basically no one will interrupt the contest between the two. The battle between the two sides is about to break out. After all, it is a competition. The two sides did not fight to the death, but fought to the death. But the sound of two people fighting, it's too big. The whole archipelago was roaring. This also attracted the attention of the local Whitebeard pirates crew. Why is the ground shaking beneath our feet? Is there an earthquake? Is it possible that there are people from other pirate groups invading? Quick, go over and take a look. Many people guarding their posts immediately dropped what they were doing. He quickly followed the source of the sound. Soon, they found Lin Yan. But this moment, many people's pupils tightened for a while. But seeing Lin Yan holding Kang Lei, Thunderfruit was released on the spot. The lightning that filled the sky overwhelmingly moved towards Izang to suppress it. Wherever lightning passes, it is devastated and devastated. Before, everyone on the Moby Dick only knew Lin Yan as demon fruit power. But what exactly is devil fruit? They have never seen it before. Now, after seeing the monstrous thunder and lightning in Lin Yan's hand, the crew members were so shocked that they could barely close their mouths. As this, Lin's devil fruit? The sky is full of thunder and lightning, this is too scary. Why are Lin competing with Captain Izo? Are they gesticulating? Just in time, we can observe and observe, it may be beneficial to our future practice. With more and more people around, a large number of people began to join in watching the battle. Pity, they haven't been watching for long. The battle is nearing its end. Actually, Lin Yan doesn't plan to use Thunderfruit, available at Yizang's request. He then used his fruit power, that's why. Izo couldn't even last 20 minutes, under a lightning strike. Yi Zhang was hit solidly. He hit the ground so hard that a big hole was made in the ground. He fell to pieces. Lin, you are so strong. Yi Zhang once again felt the gap between himself and Lin Yan, which was like a chasm. As long as you work hard, it's only a matter of time before you catch up. Lin Yan also answered pertinently. Listen to Lin Yan's words. Yizang also swept away his previous fatigue. If there is a chance, we will come again. Always waiting. Lin Yan said harmoniously. For Yizang, this is just a way to improve your strength. For Lin Yan, he just wanted to thank Yizang for applying for 10 times his salary. However, what people didn't expect is, just one night, the matter of the contest between Yizang and Lin Yan. The Whitebeard pirates are gradually fermenting. To know, except for Josie and Beasta before, the other captains regretted that they had never competed with Lin Yan. This can make them depressed. After learning about this matter, the squad captains all hit it off. The next day, early morning, the sun in the sky has just vomited. In front of Lin Yan's door, almost everyone from the captain of the 3rd Division, Chaozi, to the captain of the 16th Division, Yizang, was blocked here. Nothing else. Our captain just wants to challenge the newcomers, what bad intentions can he have? This is his first day with the Whitebeard pirates. I thought it was a sunny morning. Unexpectedly, the door opened. A row of rough men stood at the door. Lin Yan was shocked. The groggy eyes were so startled that they sobered up a lot. You are. Lin Yan was a little surprised. So many people blocked the door. What do you want? Do strong men lock up men? Is there any mistake? Next. The squad captains also made their purpose clear. They just want to compete with Lin Yan. Listen to them. Lin Yan finally figured out the whole story, but he frowned slightly. To be honest, if it is 1 or 2, come and challenge. It's okay for Lin Yan to accept it, but what does it mean for more than 10 of you to come together? Are you treating me as a punching bag? How can it be? Lin Yan knows, you must reject them yourself. Otherwise, there will be a next time after this time. Lin Yan pretended to be serious and refused sternly. Are you mistaken? Lin, don't want to lose face. How can it be unbecoming to fight and kill someone so early in the morning? Do you have any moral bottom line? Let's just let it all go. Listen to Lin Yan's serious words. Many division captains looked at each other, and they saw smiles in each other's eyes. After yesterday's incident, they have already figured out Lin Yan's character. Lin, it's really unreasonable for so many of us to challenge you. How about this, just follow the rules you set before. But, since we are division captains, we still have to be treated differently. We have to explain the price clearly to you. For example, an ordinary crew member is worth 200,000 belly, but we squad captains should start with 300,000 belly anyway. Taking into account your mood, Lin, and the fact that you have been competing with us for a long time, you will have to spend 500,000 yuan after this one. Including this fight, that's more than a dozen games, and there are 7 or 8 hours in a day. You look at us for a long time, and your heart is quite blocked. Add some mental damage fees, so it will start at 1 million no matter what. Got it. Let's do this. Our 13 division captains will take turns fighting you. Marco is absent, for a total of 20 million belly. This shouldn't be too difficult for you. Many division captains were bargaining fiercely at Lin Yan. Lin Yan heard this and looked at the enthusiastic captains, and he froze on the spot. Why do these words sound so familiar? But when I learned that they had spent 20 million belly just to compete with me. Lin Yan, who previously said, I don't want to lose face, began to change his attitude. After all, who can have trouble with money? Emin. Everyone, please come in. Lin Yan's face was full of smiles. No matter how many of you come today, I will take them all. Many division captains laughed. I immediately started to prepare for the next competition with Lin Yan. As far as they're concerned, this may be something ordinary cannot compete with in ordinary times. But Lin Yan doesn't see it that way. You all took out 20 million baileys and asked me to train you by name. If I don't show some sincerity, won't your money be wasted? Since I entered the bathhouse, if I don't make you feel comfortable, I won't even feel sorry for taking the money myself. In the end, it felt like it wasn't worth it. What should I do if I ask for it back? Lin Yan naturally takes it seriously, and the price for taking him seriously is today. It is destined to be a day when many squad leaders will cry like ghosts and howls like wolves. In order not to make them feel worthless, Lin Yan no longer hides it. Devil fruit, taijutsu, swordsmanship, marine 6 styles, genjutsu, ninjutsu, sharingan and more. Various abilities. All of them were put on the big screen. This is just great. Even Josie is as hard as a lump. They were all beaten down by Lin Yan's strength. He was beaten until his nose was bruised and his face was swollen. Not to mention the other captains. It was originally estimated that it would take 7 or 8 hours to take away the 20 million belly. Lin Yan, who was in a serious state, was forced to hold him down for less than 2 hours. Just 2 hours. All the squad captains had been beaten terribly. It's like being squeezed dry. Both legs were shaking violently. After finishing the work on Lin Yan's side, Marco, who is the ship's doctor, is also in trouble. When I saw everyone from Captain Chaozi of Division 3 to Captain Izo of Division 16 walking into the infirmary covered with bruises and blackness. Marco's expression is like this. What happened? You are. Marco wants to know what happened. Not long after. After Josie narrated the whole story, Marco burst out laughing. You formed a group to challenge Lin, but you were taught a lesson by Lin? Many division captains lowered their heads in shame. Get paid to get beat up. This is unprecedented. They were too embarrassed to bite. Autistic. Every one of them has been hammered into autism by Lin Yan. After all squad leaders entered the infirmary. This matter. It also fermented quickly on the Moby Dick. I thought it was something Lin Yan did a while ago. It's heaven-defying enough. They didn't expect it. More heaven-defying is yet to come. It's only the second day. One person singled out more than a dozen squad captains. The most important thing is, with his own strength, he hammered all the squad captains into Marco's medical room. This is too awesome. While the crew was shocked, they suddenly realized it. The strength of this newcomer. They have already surpassed their captain. At the same time, Whitebeard also got the news. Since Lin Yan swept the Whitebeard pirates last time, the discipline of the entire Whitebeard pirates has been significantly improved. This is all Lin Yan's contribution. Now many division captains have lost to Lin Yan one after another. This is enough to prove his superior strength. Gula la la la. Have all these division captains lost to Lin? This guy can really cause trouble. Whitebeard even praised Lin Yan. Certainly. Mere praise is not enough. That kind of people. If not given a suitable location. Not to mention that outsiders can't see through it. Even the captain and the crew couldn't stand it. And if this gets out, how would outsiders view them, the Whitebeard pirates? Are you nepotistic and don't know how to know people well? Think of this. He made a decision. It's also time. A new division has been formed. 3 days later, Whitebeard held an internal meeting with the squad captain. And this meeting, Lin Yan is also among them. At the meeting, Whitebeard announced in front of everyone. From now on, our Whitebeard Pirates Division 17 is established. Captain, Lin. After Whitebeard made the announcement. The captains present seemed to have expected this. The face didn't change much. Only Lin Yan. He looked surprised. What happened? How come you became the squad leader? To know. How long has it been since he joined the Whitebeard Pirates? 1 day? 2 days? became squad leader in 2 days. This is too fast. Lin Yan raised his head and met Whitebeard's eyes. You are not kidding. The shock in Lin Yan's eyes was hard to conceal. Of course not. Lin, go ahead and do it boldly, you deserve it. Whitebeard replied with a smile on Lin Yan's face. He wanted to see it too. Lin Yan came out of his own Whitebeard pirate group. How far will we go on the sea in the future? Congratulations. The other division captains also smiled broadly. Lin's strength lies here. I have been beaten to autism myself. If he doesn't become squad leader, no matter what, it doesn't make sense. Soon, there was a sound of congratulations. Resounded throughout the conference room. The news was quickly passed to the Moby Dick. Extraordinary. Don't say that the squad leaders didn't object. There was also no objection from the more than 1,600 people on the Moby Dick. In the world of pirates, the strong are respected. As long as you have the strength, whatever you do is right. They raised their hands. I strongly agree with the creation of a new division for Lin Yan. Some people even asked weakly that the new team had just been established and was short of personnel. Can they jump ship and join Division 17? Gulalalala. To celebrate the founding of Division 17, how about we hold a banquet? Whitebeard said with a smile. Dad, that's enough. Upon hearing that Whitebeard wanted to take the opportunity to drink again, Marco turned his head and yelled angrily. Since then, something about Division 17. It's finalized. At the same time, information about the Whitebeard pirates. It also quickly resounded throughout the sea. The content of newspapers is relatively simple. A new division of the Whitebeard pirates was established, and the captain was Lin Yan, who had just joined the Whitebeard pirates not long ago. Naval Headquarters, Marineford. Recently, Marine's people are handing over to Marshal Teach. The two sides seem to be conspiring. What exactly is being plotted? The others are unknown. It was learned that the Whitebeard pirates formed a new division. Sure enough, has this guy become the new squad leader? Sangoku held his chin with one hand and said calmly while looking at the confidential documents in his hand. Master Marshal, according to the people below, before becoming the captain of the 17th Division, Lin single-handedly defeated 13 captains of the Whitebeard pirates in a row. His strength is amazing. The colonel said to the marshal. Lin Yan defeated many captains in one go. It was also passed to them before. Lin, I'm afraid he will be a difficult opponent for our marine from now on. Staff officer he took off her gloves, took a sip of her tea, and spoke calmly. The captain of the Whitebeard pirates. Which one is easy to mess with? Now almost the entire army has been wiped out, defeated by Lin Yan. His strength. Not to be underestimated. Don't worry too much, no matter how strong he is just a captain of the Whitebeard pirates. If you want to shake the entire ocean, even the current Whitebeard may not be able to do it. In his youth, Whitebeard at his peak was about the same. Garp chewed the senbei in his hand. He didn't really care about Lin Yan. Indeed. What is Garp's current position at Marine? Only he has the ability not to take these squad captains seriously. Marshal, there is one more thing worth your trouble. I heard from the people at Saboti Archipelago that a number of supernovas such as Kid, Trafalgar Law, and Jewelry Bonnie have already landed. These supernovas are not the masters of leisure. I think we have to be careful and watch out for them. The colonel suddenly mentioned Saboti Archipelago. Although the 4 emperors of New World are powerful, they stick to their old ways and have the other 3 emperors eyeing them, so they basically cannot make much of a splash. But this group of supernovae is different. Fear neither heaven nor earth. Newborn calves are not afraid of tigers, if you don't cause trouble. Can they go supernova? Oh, are the supernovae gathering at the Saboti Archipelago? Where is Luffy? Have Luffy and the others arrived at Saboti? As soon as he heard about the supernova, Garp quickly put down the senbei in his hand and asked. Although my grandson is particularly rebellious, how could Luffy cause trouble even if he was outside? Arrived at Garp. It's just his child, not only that. The reason why Luffy is able to cause all kinds of big troubles on the sea, yet he repeatedly escapes from Marine's hands. A big part of the reason for this, it was all done by Garp secretly. But as the saying goes, across generations, how can a grandfather not feel sorry for his grandson? This. I heard from the spies that the Straw Hats haven't landed in Saboti yet. The colonel scratched his head and replied bravely. You haven't logged in yet? It's still early. Garp nodded. Garp. Don't tell me, you started preparing for a secret operation again, planning to let the Straw Hat crew cross the Saboti archipelago and reach the New World smoothly. As soon as he finished speaking, Garp noticed Sengoku's sinister gaze. For Garp's behavior, Sengoku didn't know how many times he scolded him angrily. But this guy just refuses to change his ways. Sengoku can understand Huduzi's mood. Sengoku also protected his own children. But what you did was too blatant. No, absolutely not. Garp turned his head guiltily and whistled. The other side. The establishment of the 17th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates also spread across the ocean to the Red Hair Pirates. Whitebeard actually expanded a new division for this newcomer. It seems that Lin is very capable. I think if there is a chance, how about we land on the Moby Dick and recruit Lin? Shanks took a sip of wine, then laughed. Boss, you've done too much harm. As a member of the red-haired group, the pot-bellied Lucky took a bite of the chicken drumstick and said, "You wanted to poach Marco and Josie before, and now you want to poach Lin. It's a good thing you didn't poach them. If they did, wouldn't Whitebeard be looking for you to death?" As the sniper of the red-haired group, Usopp was also amused by Shanks' words. A bunch of old naughty boys. Vice Captain Ben Beckman leaned against the wall and rolled his eyes at them. Regarding the Whitebeard Pirates, Shanks is more caring than when he was a qualified intern in the Roger Pirates. The Whitebeard Pirates are their old rivals, as the only remaining overlord of the old era. Based on emotion and reason, they all deserve to be treated with respect by Shanks. After Red Hair Pirates, all major forces have also received news of the establishment of the 17th Division. Big Mom Group, Beast Group, 7 Warlords of the Sea. Even those supernovae, and the ordinary pirates on the Grand Line. Before Lin Yan joined the Whitebeard Pirates, it was just a foreshadowing. So now, along with him, he swept through the Whitebeard Pirates, crushed other division captains, and became the 17th Division. In an instant, rise to fame and become famous all over the world. Newspapers and news about him are overwhelming. It has dominated the headlines for a long time. The heat never dissipates. This moment, everyone in the world. Everyone remembers the name Lin. But the outside world is noisy, reporting, releasing news, and remembering his name. Does this have anything to do with Lin Yan? It has something to do with Mao. Now, there is a huge trouble in front of Lin Yan. That is, am I filming one man's martial arts? After the new division was established, Whitebeard allocated a piece of land to Lin Yan on the archipelago for him, which served as a temporary base for the 17th Division. However, when Lin Yan arrived here, he just realized it. What is a temporary stronghold? Take a look at the entire scene. Empty and deserted. The kind that even flies don't want to visit. Sunlight reflects through the blinds. Sprinkle it on the table, chairs, and cabinets. A thick layer of gray accompanies Lin Yan. Lin Yan's mouth twitched. Look at this. I want to start my own business by myself. He couldn't help but lament that the squad leader didn't look so glamorous. Next, he spent a whole morning cleaning the place. For Lin Yan, who owns Thunderfruit, cleaning and stuff. It's so easy. Swish, swish, swish. Turn on lightning speed. Less than 10 minutes. The scene was kept spotless by Lin Yan. If this scene is known to outsiders, your jaw will definitely drop. Take Thunderfruit for hygiene. Damn it, is this an idea that anyone can come up with? What's the difference between this and frozen fruit refrigerated cola or shock fruit open beer? After finishing the matters at hand, Lin Yan chuckled. Apart from having a smaller number of people, the one-man squad doesn't have any big trouble. It just so happened that Lin Yan got 20 bait. Time to start fishing. This is the thought. Lin Yan immediately ran to the back mountain near the archipelago. A long piece of fishing equipment appeared in his hand. Lin Yan threw the bait into the sea, started fishing skillfully. First day. Ding, congratulations to host, you got an exquisite blind box from fishing. Do you want to open it? Open. Ding, congratulations to host, you opened the exquisite blind box and gained 1 month of observation hockey practice experience. Have you experienced the practice of sex training? Not bad. Lin Yan nodded and continued fishing. The next day. Ding, congratulations to host, you got an exquisite blind box from fishing. Do you want to open it? Open. Ding, congratulations to host, you opened the exquisite blind box and gained 1 month of armament hockey training experience. After starting fishing, Lin Yan was out of control. The 3rd day. The 4th day. 9th day. 10th day. Ding, congratulations to host. You opened the exquisite blind box and gained 1 month of devil fruit training experience. Ding, congratulations to host. You opened the exquisite blind box and gained 1 month of physical skills training experience. Ding, congratulations to host. You opened the exquisite blind box and gained 1 month of armament hockey training experience. Ding, congratulations to host. You opened the exquisite blind box and got Jin Ping Mei, middle. In the blink of an eye, a full 10 days passed like this. Lin Yan stretched his waist. As his strength increased, his physique became beyond that of ordinary people. Even if you fish for 10 days straight, Lin Yan only felt a little tired. Besides, still a little hungry, others feel good about themselves. But, at this moment, Lin Yan's gaze. But he quickly looked in the direction of the exquisite blind box. Hey, Xiao Meimei is here again? The last episode of Jin Ping Mei has been watched secretly by Lin Yan. He was worried about finding entertainment tools. Now, CIMC is in your hands. Lin Yan laughed a little. The system still understands itself. He immediately opened the book. He began to scan the lines above Xiao Meimei with critical eyes. Humming a tune in his mouth. Enjoy your time. Watching the thrilling and daydream scenes. The more Lin Yan watched, the more addicted he became. One sentence. Can't stop. Damn it. Is this the charm of the first of the 4 wonderful books? He actually allowed himself to hold back his internal injuries. A big departure. Just as Lin Yan was fishing in the back mountain. This is the Whitebeard Pirates. Whitebeard arrived at the 17th Division in person. Team 17 has been established for 10 days and a half, and it's time to see what Lin Yan has developed into. However, when he arrived at Lin Yan's residence, Whitebeard showed a little doubt. Where are the people? In this stronghold of the 17th Division, Whitebeard saw no one. Dad, Captain 17 seems to be at the beach. At this time, a subordinate next to Whitebeard said. The beach? What are Lin doing at the beach? Whitebeard continued to ask. I once went over to take a look. Captain 17 seemed to be fishing. The subordinate thought for a while. He was a little nervous. After hesitating for a long time, he answered truthfully. Gula la la la. It's just fishing, just a personal hobby. Why are you so nervous? It's like he has done something shameful. Whitebeard didn't pay too much attention to it. Isn't it a matter of course to have a hobby? Dad. Ever since the 17th Division was established, he has stayed there motionless and has not come back yet. The subordinate added bravely. With his father standing in front of him, he didn't dare to lie. As expected, after hearing this sentence, the smile on Whitebeard's face quickly froze. So, since the establishment of the 17th Division, he has never managed the internal affairs of the 17th Division, let alone to recruit a crew? The subordinate scratched his head and said awkwardly, that's it. Whitebeard's face darkened. Lin, this guy. Why are you so lazy? Do you think that since he is the only one in the entire team, there is no need to manage internal affairs? You like fishing. Okay. This is your personal interest and Whitebeard will not interfere with it. But it took 10 days to sit in the back mountain. No one came down. There is no way to cultivate sentiments like you do to cultivate law. Whitebeard felt his heart pounding and exploded on the spot. But very quickly, he took a deep breath. Calm. Be sure to calm down. I want to use love to influence Lin. He must be under great pressure as the new squad leader. Only then would I choose to vent in this way, thinking that Lin Yan might be under too much pressure. Whitebeard didn't think much about it. Then, another 10 days have passed. When Whitebeard arrived at Division 17, he thought Lin Yan had made some achievements. As always, Squadron 17 was completely empty. 20 days down. The dust on the table and chairs has already accumulated into mountains. Where are the others, Lin? Whitebeard's originally slightly dark complexion became even darker. Lao 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 lao. Dad. Captain of Division 17. He is still in the back mountain. The subordinate said bravely. Never came down? Whitebeard suppressed the anger in his heart and said. Never came down. The subordinates felt like they were going numb. Captain. Just stop fishing. Dad has come twice. If you don't come down again, Dad is going to be angry. Hear this. Whitebeard didn't say much. He kind of hates the fact that iron cannot become steel. You said, if you are too busy practicing and breaking through bottlenecks, it's fine if you can't build the 17th Division. The key is, don't even practice cultivation. Fishing? Can he make a living out of fishing? Can fishing help you consolidate your abilities? Can fishing make you stronger? Neither this nor that. Nothing. You have gone crazy. You guys, go and tell him that I'm waiting for him on the Moby Dick. Whitebeard gritted his teeth and said with a gloomy expression. It's also time. Let's talk to Lin. Thinking of Lin's strength and talent. It will be easy to become the top player in Grand Line from now on. Playing with your body like this at such a young age. Is this okay? Whitebeard will never allow Lin Yan to go further down the depraved path of fishing. Aboard Moby Dick. Whitebeard sat in the main seat of the conference room. On either side of him, Marco, Josie, and Izang are respectively based here. They also learned about the situation. Marco and the others twitched their mouths. Spend 20 days fishing. The key is, Dad found out about your laziness. In their view, Lin Yan may not have any good fruits to eat next. Soon, Lin Yan from Hushan learned of the situation. It just so happened that his 20 baits were also used up. Dang even rushed towards the Moby Dick, but when Lin Yan arrived in front of Whitebeard and others, suddenly, there was a sound of astonishment throughout the conference room. Everyone was stunned when they saw Lin Yan. Pairs of eyes focused on Lin Yan. They were all shocked by Lin Yan's outfit. Unkempt and messy, he looks like the male protagonist Chen Xuanzing in Conquering the Demon. There are spider webs hanging on the head, a perfect tramp outfit. Is this the Lin Yan who single-handedly conquered the entire Whitebeard pirates? Lin, what the hell are you dressing up like? Marco asked in shock. Did you go to beg for food? You are so embarrassed and ragged. Izo also stood up directly. I heard that you asked me to come over. I thought something big was going on, so I didn't think much about it. I didn't have time to sort it out. As for why I look unkempt, I'm afraid it's because I spent 20 days fishing in the back mountain. Lin Yan answered them truthfully. He scratched his head and took off the cobwebs on his head. For more than 20 days, haven't you moved at all? Marco couldn't help but ask. That's pretty much it. Lin Yan is undeniable. Hear this. Several people at the scene looked at each other. From each other's eyes, what they saw was incredible. Damn it. So crazy? Sitting still like an old monk. It hasn't moved for more than 20 days. Everyone was a little dumbfounded. Whitebeard, who was so angry just now that he almost exploded, after seeing Lin Yan's appearance, the anger in his heart calmed down a lot. Lin, I have to say something to you about this. Fishing is your hobby, so I shouldn't interfere too much. But you have to have some restraint. Look at what you look like now. How many days have you gone without food or water? Speaking of food, Gululu, Lin Yan's stomach also growled. After more than 20 days, fishing without food, drink or sleep. Sound. It's indeed a bit appalling. Yes, don't waste your abilities and enviable talents. Beasta seconded. Listen to their earnest words. Lin Yan picked out his ears. Practice. Practice your hair. Is there a flavor of fishing in cultivation? Does practicing improve as fast as fishing? Of course. This is Lin Yan's inner thought. But on his face, he still humbly accepted the teaching and said, I know. Watching Lin Yan realize that the prodigal son turned around. Whitebeard nodded happily. There is nothing wrong with Lin Yan except that he likes fishing. Whitebeard wasn't going to get angry anymore. If you know you were wrong, correct it. There is no greater good. Okay, you go down and tidy up first. Besides, I have been fishing for such a long time, so please take a rest these 2 days. Also, hurry up and establish the 17th division. If you need startup funds, just ask me for approval. Whitebeard asked Lin Yan to go down and rest quickly. Such crazy fishing would not do well if he was exhausted. Okay. Lin Yan replied. Then, he left here. Stay in the back mountains for 20 days. His hair had also grown out a lot, and his clothes were in a mess due to exposure to the sun and rain. It really doesn't look like it. Return to the base of Division 17. Lin Yan packed himself some food and ate something to satisfy his hunger. At this moment, the system makes a sound. Ding, dear host, a new mission has been released. Mission 3. Defeat a Grand Line super strong man. Complete the mission to get 30 bait. Task 4. Invite a super first line powerhouse to join the 17th Division. Complete the mission to get 30 bait. Mission 5. Let the number of members of Division 17 reach 100. Complete the mission to get 30 bait. Total, 90 bait. It stands to reason that the system releases tasks. Lin Yan is mostly excited and exciting, however. when he saw 3 tasks falling on him at one go. Lin Yan was stunned. Why? Why are there so many tasks this time? More tasks means more bait. Fortunately, these tasks, there is no so-called time limit. In other words, you can complete the task at any time. But whether it is defeating a super first-line strong person, inviting a super first-line strong person to join, or making the 17th Division team have 100 members, none of this can be done simply and casually. I want to complete 3 tasks at once, on this sea. What does a super first-line strong person represent? The strength must be at least a master of Vice Admiral level or above. What's above Vice Admiral? Captain, General, 3 disasters, Imperial Lieutenant, Shichibukai, Admiral. Up there are the 4 Emperors and the Pirate King. Let alone a top-notch powerhouse, even a first-line strong person. They are also rare in Grand Line. Let alone defeat them, or invite them. Whether it can be found or not is another matter. Lin Yan rubbed his forehead. This task was a bit difficult. Immediately, he applied towards Whitebeard. I want to try my luck on the sea. Whitebeard learned that Lin Yan began to think about the 17th Division. Not only did he agree, he even directly allocated 500 million to Lin Yan as the startup capital of the 17th Division. Go ahead. Lin Yan looked at the 500 million in his hand and was surprised that Whitebeard's move was too generous. You can feel free to use this money. If it's not enough, come and get it from me. Whitebeard said passionately. With just one sentence, 500 million fell into his hands. Lin Yan suddenly discovered, this Whitebeard becomes more and more pleasing to the eye. Lin Yan went to sea, started looking for it on the sea. Because I brought less drinks, I almost drank all my alcohol the first day. No way. Lin Yan had no choice but to sip tea slowly. Don't tell me yet, he couldn't get used to tea at first. But when the fragrance of tea overflows, Lin Yan also gradually realized the charm of tea. First day. Drink tea. The next day. Drink tea. The third day. Lin Yan, how could you be so depraved? Have you forgotten your mission? Don't you want to build the 17th Division? Don't you want to make a name for yourself? The 4th day. Have tea. That's all. Going round and round, 4 days of wandering at sea. Regrettably. Don't call it a human being. Not even a hair was seen. Lin Yan stopped his Hu-Shi behavior and began to think, when will this aimless search end? At this moment, an archipelago appeared in front of Lin Yan. Where's the front? Lin Yan pointed to an archipelago in the distance and asked the boatman. Captain, up ahead is Sabodi Archipelago. The boatman spread out the map, searched for it, and answered Lin Yan. Sabodi land? You actually came here? Lin Yan touched his chin. Sabodi Archipelago. Also known as the Soap Bubble Islands, they are located in the center of the Grand Line. This is the center of the world's economic hub and the only way to the New World. This is a special island composed of 79 huge redwoods. The most notable thing on the island is their bubble culture. Because the pass of Sabodi land is too important. Therefore, the island is heavily guarded by Marines. It can be said, Sabodi Archipelago is the first half of the Grand Line and is relatively the safest place. Did not think of. After 4 days of sailing, I actually arrived here. After thinking about it for a while. Then the corners of his mouth raised slightly. Just heard about it recently. 11 supernovae are about to gather in Sabodi. There are 11 supernovas in this class, known as the extremely evil era. Since it is called an extremely evil era, if nothing happens, it will happen. Is that still called an extremely evil era? Although Lin Yan had almost forgotten the plot about the world of pirates in his mind. But he will never forget the famous scene of kicking a supernova. For the Sabodi Archipelago, the end point of the first half of the Grand Line. Lin Yan immediately became interested, under the sunlight. The colorful Madara bubbles gradually rise into the sky. Lin Yan stood condescendingly on a mangrove tree. The wonders of the entire Sabodi Archipelago are unobstructed. This time period, there should be a few supernovae that have already landed on the Sabodi Archipelago. I vaguely remember. The Straw Hat Pirates were the last to land. It was precisely after the Straw Hats landed that the turmoil in the Sabodi Archipelago began. Lin Yan is not interested in the Straw Hat Pirates. It's urgent. Completing the task is the priority. What a coincidence. In this Sabodi Archipelago, Lin Yan really knows the whereabouts of a super first-line player. Mangrove Area number 13. Far away. you can see a brightly lit tavern standing on a small hill. Lin Yan came to the tavern. Look up. Shaki's Rip-Off Tavern. He smiled softly. Stretching out his hand, he slowly pushed the door open and entered. Jingle bell. The door of the tavern had just opened, and a series of wind chimes sounded. Welcome. Listening to the sound of wind chimes, the proprietress in the tavern who was wiping the wine glass in her hand said with a smile on her face. For other tavern owners, all customers who come through the door are God. But for Shaki, these customers who come in one by one, those are all little fat sheep. Hey, there's a handsome boy here today. You look good. Auntie, I'm in a good mood. I just pity you and try to kill you less. Shaki's eyes fell on Lin Yan and he thought to himself. Guest. What would you like to drink? Shaki asked Lin Yan with a professional smile on his face. Feel free to mix a cup of your specialty. Lin Yan didn't care either. In the past, he would have definitely taken a good look at the prices, assessed the situation, and then had a glass of relatively cheaper wine. Today is different from the past. 500 million belly kicked in hand. Also, on the Moby Dick, the crew members of the Whitebeard pirates were cheated out of nearly 10 million Bailey. Too much wealth and bad temper. I can experience the joy of having money. Haha, little brother, I would like to ask, there are so many taverns in this area, why did you choose ours? Shaki raised his eyebrows and asked Lin Yan while mixing drinks. Of course I'm here for you. Lin Yan sat in front of the bar and looked at Shaki in front of him at such a close distance. I hate it. Guest, why did you start getting close to me? A flash of shyness flashed across Shaki's face. As a movie star in the workplace for many years, even though she is older, she is still in control, with a red cloud appearing on her face. At the same time, he waved his hands and said shyly. I was serious. Lin Yan said quite seriously. However, I have to remind you here, little brother, that is the proprietress of this tavern, I am very expensive. Shaki hinted quietly. It's okay. I have a lot of money in my hand recently. I think I should be able to afford you. Lin Yan held his chin with one hand and said. Hey, you can't tell, little brother, you were quite confident. That's no problem. Although the two parties were chatting, the movements in Shaki's hands did not stop. Not long after, a cup of her favorite product was handed to Lin Yan. Brother, you are also an expert. In that case, I won't beat around the bush with you. What do you want to know in my rip-off bar? Lin Yan looked at the prepared wine in front of him. He took a slow sip. Hot. It's spicier than regular drinks. But behind the heat, there was a sweetness that flowed into Lin Yan's throat. As expected of the boss lady, her craftsmanship is excellent. Lin Yan gave his approval. Thank you for the compliment. This is based on my many years of experience in the industry. Shaki opened his cigarette case, took out a cigarette, and lit it skillfully. Hold the cigarette between your fingertips, she crossed her long legs. While puffing away the smoke, I quietly waited for Lin Yan's next words. After the wine is almost finished tasting. Boss, I want to know, are there any powerful guys around here? Lin Yan grinned, put down his wine glass and said. The words fell. On his body, his temperament began to change subtly. A wild aura from a superior person filled his surroundings. This guy is a bit unusual. Shaki's eyelids twitched. As one of the few remaining rocks pirates from the old days, Shaki has seen countless storms and waves. Just a glance, she could be sure that the young man in front of her was very powerful. But, looking at Lin Yan's familiar yet unfamiliar face, Shaki frowned. She always felt, I seem to have seen him somewhere. But where exactly? My mind is in disarray. She can't remember either. If you are strong, you can find a lot of New World, and there are also 4 Sea Emperors. If you want to find them, you can go find them. Except for the 4 emperors, there are also countless powerful men at the level of emperor and deputy. For example, squad captains, generals, 3 disasters, etc. Shaki showed Lin Yan a clear path. To be honest, I came here from New World. I walked around New World but couldn't find it, so I wanted to try my luck at Saboti Archipelago. Lin Yan took out his ear with one hand and said calmly. Want to try your luck here? That's right. Not far from the Saboti Archipelago, there is an island called Marineford. There are marshals, admirals, vice-admirals, and many strong men from the old era on the island. What do you think of this place? Shaki smiled and took a puff of smoke. Marineford? I think I should go there for a walk in the near future. This place is not bad. Do you have any other recommendations? Lin Yan thought of the summit war that was about to break out. Summit war. After the chaos of the Saboti archipelago ended, the first thing that bore the brunt was the most spectacular war since the beginning of the Age of Discovery. I have recommended so many places to you, but you don't seem very satisfied with it. Recently, many interesting and powerful people have landed on Saboti archipelago. There are already 11 supernovas with a bounty of over 100 million. Can they do it? Shaki targeted a group of supernovas. These brats are too weak. Lin Yan shook his head and objected directly. Kid? Shaki's mouth twitched and he looked Lin Yan up and down. You don't seem to be that old. So, lovely boss lady, do you want to try how big I am? Lin Yan picked a cherry tomato from the plate and put it in his mouth. This. Shaki was speechless. Okay, I won't beat around the bush with you. I want to know, are there any strong men hiding near your tavern? Just a reminder, it's best to be someone with super level strength, a legend from the old days, the right-hand man of Pirate King Roger. Oh, by the way, his surname is Hilbaz. Lin Yan looked at Shaki and looked at her quietly. As expected. When I heard Shilbaz, there was panic in Shaki's eyes. Rayleigh. Full name Hilbaz Rayleigh. Who is this guy? What is the purpose of asking Lao Lei by name? Shaki thought for a while, then turned a deaf ear and said, I don't know what you were talking about. Lin Yan was unmoved. He said calmly, oh my, it looks like I've found the right place. I can't hide what happened before I see it. Shaki stared at Lin Yan for a while, but remained silent. But the alertness in his eyes, but it hasn't faded at all. Rayleigh, the former vice captain of the Roger Pirates, one of the 3 great pirates in the old era, and the right hand of Roger, the Pirate King. The Roger Pirates have a very high status in this sea. Even if the pirate group has been disbanded for many years, its influence is extremely far-reaching. Even the Whitebeard Pirates had to take a back seat in front of the Roger Pirates. The reason why Rayleigh has lived peacefully in Saboti archipelago for so many years. Most of the reasons are mainly because Rayleigh is no longer a threat to Marine. In addition, Rayleigh is quite powerful. Fight with it rashly. The gain outweighs the loss, so I turned a blind eye. He was allowed to live in seclusion in the Saboti archipelago. Now Lin Yan has arrived. Shaki realized the crisis. Anyway, she also couldn't reveal any information about Rayleigh's identity. Your identity is? Shaki wants to know Lin Yan's identity. Lin Yan. Lin Yan gave her a dose of reassurance. Who are you? Captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. Upon hearing these 2 words, Shaki immediately knew his identity. A while ago. The establishment of the 17th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates has already swept the entire Grand Line. Lin Yan is like a thunderbolt. Shaki said that Lin Yan looked familiar. I see. It turned out that I had read about him in the newspaper. These days, there are also many fools pretending to be captains of the Whitebeard Pirates to get food and drinks. But in the hands of the experienced Shaki, all of them were drained of their wealth and left outside to become homeless people. However, this time it was completely different from before. Look at the gentle young man in front of you. Shaki knows, she may have met her rightful owner. I really didn't expect that the captain of the Whitebeard Pirates would actually come to my tavern. However, what I didn't expect was that the newly promoted captain was so young. Shaki lowered his head slightly. If it is an ordinary squad leader, Shaki might not be so surprised, but Lin Yan was the one who caused the commotion within the Whitebeard Pirates. That's not that big, although there is no reward. But according to preliminary estimates by relevant people, his strength, at least it has reached the admiral level. Admiral. That is the top powerhouse in this sea. Take a look at the entire sea. How many can you count? This is also the reason why countless people are jealous of the Whitebeard Pirates. I randomly turned over a card outside. I actually found such a powerful figure. What a good luck. Thanks for the compliment. So, can you tell me where Rayleigh is? Lin Yan replied with a smile. You just said that you want to find a strong person who is above the first line. Shaki suddenly asked such a question. Lin Yan's purpose is Rayleigh. Although I don't know why he came to Rayleigh. But I guess it's not to reminisce about the past. Since it's not about reminiscing, I'm afraid it won't turn out well. Rayleigh is indeed not weak, but that was before. With Rayleigh at his peak, Shaki doesn't need to worry at all. What about Rayleigh today? At dusk on the West Mountain, half of it was buried in the ground, and its strength was sharply reduced. Lao Lei and Lin Yan must not be allowed to face each other. Shaki was determined. Oh. My lovely boss lady, what do you mean? Lin Yan wanted to see what Shaki would say. If you were looking for a super first-line powerhouse, I'm afraid you don't need Lao Lei to come forward in person. I have someone here who you should be more interested in. Shaki suddenly showed a knowing smile and said. Listen to Shaki frantically deflecting conflicts to Rayleigh. It seems that this Lao Lei has a good relationship with you, the boss lady. If you protect him like this, is he your husband? Lin Yan asked jokingly with a smile. Shaki heard this. Her heart skipped a beat. Very excited. The old face couldn't help but blush. Like a girl whose secret has been exposed. You. Stop talking nonsense. What relationship does he and I have? Her eyes were evasive. He doesn't speak as fluently as before. Ha 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 ha. Okay, you have said so, then I would like to hear who this other person is. Lin Yan said towards Shaki. Snort. Shaki suddenly reacted and looked at Lin Yan, who was laughing in front of him. She couldn't help but roll her eyes. Today. I was actually molested by a guy who was decades younger than me. Hateful. Although angry. But Shaki organized his words and said, Black Arm Zephyr, I believe you have heard of this name. Zephyr. When Lin Yan heard this, he raised his head suddenly. Black Arm Zephyr. The former admiral of headquarters, the highest combat force in the world government, debuted in the same class as Garp and Sengoku. He once established a prestigious reputation on the sea and became famous far and wide, making pirates afraid of him. Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru, etc. are all students who came out from under him. It can be said, Zephyr has laid a solid foundation for Marine's current dominance on the sea. On honor. Not even inferior to either Hero Garp or Marshal Sengoku. Due to his powerful armament hockey, he was given the name, Black Arm. I have fought countless pirates in my life, but I have never killed any enemy. The former admiral of naval headquarters who is known as No Kill. Speaking of Zephyr, he is a man with a very rough fate. In the first half of his life, his wife and children were killed, which made him hate pirates extremely. For the rest of his life, he dedicated everything to Marine, only to be betrayed by Marine. He was disheartened. With this, he resigned from his position as Marine Admiral. I thought. The life of the former Marine Admiral may have come to an end. But he made a comeback with Neo Marine, trying to subvert the entire world. Of course. This was 2 years later. Today's Black Arm Zephyr has just left naval headquarters. Lin Yan didn't expect it. Shaki actually knows the whereabouts of Zephyr. It seems that you should be interested. Shaki looked at the look on Lin Yan's face, and she couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. I have an idea. Where is he? Looking at Shaki's determined look, Lin Yan expected that she would be reluctant to reveal Rayleigh's whereabouts to death. Instead of hanging from the Rayleigh tree, it's better to find another way. Exactly. Black Arm Zephyr's status and ability are not weaker than Rayleigh's at all, and he even holds the upper hand. Immediately. Shaki told him what she knew about Zephyr. Tell Lin Yan everything. Well. Listening to the news about Zephyr's whereabouts, Lin Yan nodded repeatedly. Talk about it. It seems that Zephyr just resigned not long ago. Think about it this way. Zephyr is now a free man? Free man? Doesn't that mean? Did you have the chance to invite him on board? To know. Lin Yan has 3 tasks. One of them defeated a super strong player. The second is to invite super first-line experts. The third is to increase the number of members of the 17th Division to 100. Not to mention the third task. In this first and second mission, Lin Yan can definitely be linked to Zephyr. Think of this. Lin Yan was as if he could see the sun through the clouds, his eyes sparkling with energy. Zephyr. You are really a sweetheart. If Zephyr knew at this moment that Lin Yan and Shaki were plotting against him, I'm afraid he would be so angry that he would spit and curse on the spot. Laozi has just left Marine. Is someone targeting me? Laozi doesn't want to lose face. Can't Laozi be allowed to be autistic for a while? Then it's decided. Boss lady, this information is good. Make a price. Lin Yan nodded. Haha, it's our first meeting, Captain. Today's information is just a meeting gift. What do you think? Shaki waved quickly. No need for Lin Yan to pay. Oh? No money? Lin Yan glanced at Shaki. This is completely inconsistent with the Shaky's ripoff brand. The sun is really shining in the west. Mr. Lin, stop looking at me, you'd better leave quickly. Shaki now wants Lin Yan to leave quickly. What if Lao Lei comes back and bumps into him? In order to avoid extraneous branches, You big Buddha, you'd better leave as soon as possible. Okay. Okay. I'll accept your favor. Lin Yan could naturally see Shaki's intention to drive him away. He laughed and shook his head. He had no intention of continuing to tease Shaki. He left the tavern immediately, heading towards Zephyr's current retreat. On the bar, Shaki watched Lin Yan leave. After a long time, she finally breathed out a sigh of relief. He raised his hand and wiped the sweat from his forehead. She felt dizzy and all her strength was exhausted. It's like sending him off. Old Lei, I've saved you a big trouble. Whatever you say, you have to give me some compensation. Think of this. A smile appeared on Shaki's face again. I don't want anything, you just need to use yourself to pay off the debt. Talking about Lin Yan. Half a day later. Lin Yan arrived at the designated place. Is this here? Lin Yan raised his head and looked towards a thatched cottage in the distance. Since resigning from marine position, Zephyr left Marineford and lived in seclusion in Sabodi Archipelago. During this time, Zephyr spent every day in agony. He refused, it never occurred to him. Marine who dedicated his life to it. In the end, he actually treated himself like this. Ever since Crocodile's deeds in the Desert Country incident were revealed, and Gecko Moria and Thriller Bark defeated the Straw Hat Kid. 5 elders feel more and more. It's really time for this group of 7 warlords of the sea to reshuffle. 7 warlords of the sea. It was the existence that Marine once tried to use to counterbalance the 4 emperors. Not to mention whether they can check and balance. At least, the 7 warlords of the sea are the legal pirates on this grand line. It's so legal that Marine can't easily touch these Shichibukai even if they do something outrageous. This also leads to many outsiders sneered at this group of Shichibukai, calling them government lackeys, marine scum, etc. And Edward Wable, that is Whitebeard E. Listed by the 5 elders as one of the candidates to be the next 7 warlords of the sea. Got the news. Zephyr was stunned as if struck by lightning. Edward Wable. Zephyr had a battle with him in the early years. That battle. An entire ship of his cadets was slaughtered by Edward Weeble. And he, Zephyr, had an arm cut off by Edward Wable. When I think of the desperate faces of those students, Zephyr's hatred for Edward Weeble grew deeper and deeper. Learning that this guy could actually be the next Shichibukai. How could he not be angry? How could he not be angry? He felt like the whole world was about to collapse. He was extremely disappointed. He was fired from the Marine rank in anger. Since then, once the Black Arm Zephyr, once the Marine Admiral. Break up with Marineford. Looking at this thatched cottage at the designated location. It should be Zephyr's hiding place according to the information Shaki provided to him. Unimaginable. Former Marine Admiral, he has actually fallen to this point. Lin Yan is still a little impressed with Zephyr. For his experience, can only say, when you have no use value. This group of people will never show mercy if they want to abandon you. Certainly. As former close friends, Garp, Sengoku and others naturally did not want Zephyr to leave. Pity. For this kind of thing, even Sengoku, as the supreme commander of Marine, has no right to interfere. After all, Marine is just one of those who serve Marie Joys, the 5 elders, and the celestial dragons. 5 elders, celestial dragons. Lin Yan knocked on his head with one hand, and then a flash of light flashed in his eyes. When I am almost strong in the future, I have to be a guest in your 5 elders hall, and take a look at the so-called I am. What does it look like? But, before that, improving your strength is the best option. Who? At this moment, Lin Yan heard a shout in his ear. Then a woman in a blue dress jumped down from the branch of a bubble mangrove tree and landed in front of Lin Yan. This is a woman with sky blue wavy long hair shawl. She is wrapped in a light blue outfit. The long skirt is fluttering and has an extraordinary temperament. The slender legs are slim and graceful, and the cold face has a hint of alertness. A pair of beautiful eyes stared at Lin Yan, her beautiful eyebrows furrowed, as cold as an iceberg. Who are you? She raised her white hand and pointed at Lin Yan and asked. Lin Yan's eyes were attracted by the other party's appearance. Picturesque eyebrows, icy muscles and jade bones, a slender head and moth-like eyebrows, a natural beauty. If it is 100 points, the woman in front of me started with at least 95 points. Shouldn't you give your own name before asking someone else's name? Lin Yan looked at the other party and then said. It is forbidden to enter this place, please leave immediately. Ain said in a cold tone. You look like a pretty woman. Why do you speak so barbarically? This is the Sabodi archipelago, not your backyard. Entry is prohibited? Did you buy this land? Lin Yan smiled and asked back. I'm saying this once, get out of here. Ain's face started to look unhappy. Then what if I don't leave? Feeling the other parties gradually getting angry, Lin Yan laughed angrily and remained unmoved at all. HMPH, it seems that I need to drive you away. Ain said with a low face. Finished. She is arrogant and unreasonable. He immediately took action. In her hands, a pink flame was lit. Immediately afterwards, Ain slapped Lin Yan. There was a bang sound, and Ain slapped Lin Yan on the body. You are seeking your own death, Ain said coldly. Good. She is also a demon fruit power. Her fruit power is the retrograde fruit. Once hit by her devil fruit, it will make his age go back 12 years at a time, when the age goes back to 0. Then this person will no longer exist in the world. Looking at Lin Yan, who had been slapped by her, Ain's eyes didn't show any emotion at all. But the next second, Miss, why are you competing with a tree? In Ain's ear, a lazy voice came. The person who spoke was none other than Lin Yan. What? Ain was stunned for a moment when he saw Lin Yan sitting on the rock with his legs crossed and a naive smile on his face. Own. The power of the retrograde fruit had just been exerted on him. Why doesn't it work at all? When her vision returned to reality, Ain suddenly found out. He slapped himself against a tree. Instead, the tree went back 12 years. This. A flash of panic flashed in Ain's beautiful eyes. She wondered what was going on. Lin Yan laughed and shook his head. Ever since I learned how to use illusions, he became more and more interested in this illusion. Yes. Back in the beginning, Ain fell into Lin Yan's illusion. If it's inside Hokage, maybe the enemy knows how to break the illusion. The issue is, where is this pirate world? Illusion stuff. For them, it's simply a heaven-defying bug skill. Not to mention using the genjutsu released by Mangekyo. Once hit. As long as Lin Yan is happy, he can torture the other party to death. I can even create a time stop, plus, do what you want, series for you. Come again. Ain was not convinced, and pink flames ignited in her hands. She patted Lin Yan again. Pity. The result remains the same. It takes less than 10 minutes. This beautiful girl in front of me. Lost to Lin Yan. Now, can you talk to me calmly? Lin Yan walked up to Ain and looked at her condescendingly. Ain looked ugly. At this moment, she was exhausted from being tortured by Lin Yan in the fantasy world. This guy. What abilities does he possess? So powerful. You. Who are you? On Lin Yan's body. Ain felt a strong sense of powerlessness. Don't ask me who I am yet. Answer my question. Is the former Marine Admiral Black Arm Zephyr around here? Lin Yan looked at her and asked softly. What are you doing with the teacher? Ain's heart trembled. Zephyr had just fired Marine from his position. Now someone is coming to the door. She had a bad feeling. Oh? Zephyr turns out to be your teacher. Then, take me there. Hearing this sentence, Lin Yan showed his true appearance. Ain wanted to struggle. Pity. She has already fallen into Lin Yan's hands. There was no way to resist. Soon, under the leadership of Ain, Lin Yan also found Black Arm Zephyr. It was a man with slender purple hair and strong muscles. Even though he was nearly 80 years old, he was still full of energy. But the courage of the Marine Admiral in the past was not revealed in him. At this time, he had just suffered a blow. He was stuck in the mud, with a heavy look of disappointment on his face. Doesn't look very energetic. Zephyr noticed the movement at the door at this time, and he looked up. But the next second, when he saw Ain walking in with injuries all over his body, especially behind Ain's back, when there was a strange man on Zephyr's body, a particularly strong aura of anger arose, and his eyes locked on Lin Yan for an instant. Who are you? Zephyr frowned and looked at Lin Yan warily. Does it matter who I am? Former Marine Admiral Black Arm Zephyr. Lin Yan said calmly. As Zephyr looked at him, he also looked at Zephyr. Ain quickly walked behind Zephyr. She was injured and said in a weak tone, Teacher, this guy just broke in. Zephyr nodded. He also noticed the injuries on his student. As a teacher, he always protects the students. Ain's injuries were caused by you? Zephyr questioned. It's just a bit of a contradiction, and I have to make it clear that the injuries on this little girl were really not caused by me. Lin Yan shook his head and denied it on the spot. This is Ain's illusion. I tormented myself to the point of exhaustion. I really don't blame him. At most, he is considered a second offender. What's your purpose here? Zephyr's tone was very capable. As the former Marine Admiral, his face became increasingly serious. The majestic and dignified aura of the past was revealed. I want to invite you on board. My team has just been established and is preparing members. Lin Yan was also very straightforward and immediately stated his purpose. As soon as this statement came out, the whole room fell silent. Even the injured Ain raised his beautiful face. The teacher just resigned, Marine, and now you come to visit me? It came so quickly. Zephyr's tone dropped, and then he spoke slowly. It's better to come early than to come late, Admiral, you're right. Lin Yan said calmly. It's better to come early than to come well. You are a pirate, right? At this moment, Zephyr suddenly asked this question out of nowhere. To know. On this sea, pirates and Marines are on opposite sides. I just resigned from Marine, and the only ones who can invite me are the major forces on the pirate side. Lin Yan didn't answer, but he didn't deny it either. But, after seeing Lin Yan's non-reply reaction, the answer has been revealed. The originally calm and composed Zephyr. Suddenly the momentum was rising, his fists clenched. Veins bulged. Don't you understand me? Zephyr's eyes turned cold. What's the meaning? Lin Yan didn't understand what Zephyr meant, although he has an impression of Zephyr. But for the story behind Zephyr, it's been more than a year since I traveled back in time, so I don't remember very clearly. Also, why would I expect a pirate to understand me? Zephyr suddenly smiled. The smile was sad. Ask him who he hates most in his life. There is no one like this group of unforgivable pirates who stirred up the sea. His wife, his children, everything around him. Almost all of them were torn to pieces because of this group of pirates. Hatred of pirates. Zephyr is deeper than anyone else. After learning Lin Yan's identity, go to hell. Zephyr roared, raised his robotic arm, and punched Lin Yan. Lin Yan's eyes tightened. Zephyr is, after all, the former Marine Admiral. If you don't sing, you will be a blockbuster. He was very fast. In the blink of an eye, he came to Lin Yan's eyes. Demonstrated strength. No weaker than any squad leader Lin Yan had encountered before. Even stronger than them all. Boom. The scene erupted with unparalleled shock. Lin Yan also disappeared instantly. Zephyr's robotic arm hit the ground, making a huge hole in the ground. All of a sudden, the storm is rising. Everything was smashed to pieces by him. The huge scene was turbulent, and agitated dust fell. In turmoil, the whole house exploded and was shattered to pieces. In that smoke-filled scene, Zephyr waved his hand. The smoke and dust were wiped away by him. The speed is pretty good, I have to admit, you still have some strength. But, that's all. Zephyr stared at Lin Yan as if nothing had happened. I don't want to do anything. If possible, can you give me a chance to escape? Lin Yan said that he didn't really want to compete with Zephyr. You don't want to do it, but I do. Zephyr has nothing left to say. He raised his mechanical arm again, and a layer of dark armament hockey covered it. After the estimation just now, Lin Yan's strength is at least not weaker than his own. Facing such a powerful enemy, the lion fights the rabbit with all his strength. Not to mention Lin Yan's identity as a pirate. He came up and showed his full strength. Faced the Zephyr on fire. Lin Yan also knows. It seems that the road of mouth escape is not feasible. To be honest, literary fighting is what Lin Yan is least good at. He was actually a little hesitant. I wonder if mouth escape can dispel Zephyr's prejudice and anger towards pirates. Unexpectedly, Zephyr did not give Lin Yan a chance to fight. Force him to fight. What a coincidence. Fists are what Lin Yan is best at. That being the case, want to go further? I can only speak with my fists. Well, why bother? Why do you need to force me to take action? Zephyr Admiral, let's make a bet. Lin Yan avoided Zephyr's punch and said calmly. What bet? The punch missed, and Zephyr swept up with another whip kick, directly facing Lin Yan. The two of them were fighting and talking loudly. Simple, just bet on whether I can beat you. Lin Yan said with a smile. Furious, listening to what the other party said, Zephyr smiled instead of getting angry. Don't worry, listen to me. Give me a chance in one round. If I don't defeat you in one round, I will let you do whatever you want. No lies. Lin Yan stretched out a finger and said calmly. 1 round. Zephyr, who had been doing nothing before, was also stunned for a moment. Then it exploded on the spot, and boundless anger burst out from his body. Crazy man. Zephyr burst into flames. How confident are you in your own abilities? How dare you speak such arrogant words? Ain, who was watching the match, was also shocked by what Lin Yan said. Who was her teacher? That was the former Marine Admiral, Black Arm Zephyr. Marine Admiral is one of the people at the forefront of this sea. And who is Zephyr? That is the king who broke out in the old era. The old era and the new era are two completely different eras. Who is in the new era? Kid, Luo, Ace, and a lot of supernovas, that's it. Luffy's wall hanging is unnecessary. Who was there in the old days? Roger, Garp, Sangoku, and the Red Earl are just desserts, and there is also the legendary king of the world, Rocks, who dominated an entire era. Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Big Mom, Kaido, etc. are just a subsidiary cadre of Rocks. In the old days, a top strong man was randomly picked up. Both can easily sweep the Grand Line, it can be said. It is not an exaggeration to describe it as a dimensionality reduction blow. The man in front of me, a guy I've never heard of. He rants about killing his teacher in one round. Kill the Zephyr who fought his way out of the old days. You probably don't know how high and thick the sky is, right? You are too arrogant, Ain said gloomily. Be it Zephyr or Ain, they were all outraged. Only Lin Yan. But seeing that his expression remained unchanged, he said lightly, let's start. Zephyr glanced at Lin Yan coldly, then clenched his fists. Even Roger. Even Whitebeard. Even the Rocks were at their peak back then. I dare not say that I can kill a Marine Admiral in one round. Zephyr didn't know where Lin Yan in front of him had the courage to shout like this. Young people can be proud, but there must be no arrogance. Too arrogant. It's easy to pay the price. Crush the tornado. On Zephyr's robotic arm, the parts above are running at high speed. With the blessing of kinetic energy, Zephyr's strength instantly rose to a new level. He hit Lin Yan hard with a crushing punch. Lin Yan takes his time. Block in front with one hand. It was extremely easy to intercept Zephyr's charged attack. Crush Destruction Death Ray. Zephyr once again burst out with his power, and his mechanical arm shone brightly. No matter how he used it, it was a pity that he couldn't get what he wanted. They were all blocked by Lin Yan. Watching Lin Yan intercept his attacks again and again. Zephyr raised an eyebrow. Lin Yan put a lot of pressure on him. This guy. Who is he? Before he could continue thinking. In Lin Yan's hands, Thunderfruit's ability was released. It's my turn. Zitsa, moment. Thunder and lightning, like silver snakes of lightning, filled the air around Lin Yan. The majestic thunder and lightning are like light tearing through the sky. Straight up into the sky, bombarding the sky. It was arrogance that shone to the ultimate level. Brontosaurus. Under the blessing of majestic thunder and lightning. A Brontosaurus appeared out of thin air. The Thunder Dragon wrapped around Lin Yan, making him look like the god of thunder descending. The figures began to look majestic. Then, Lin Yan pointed towards Zephyr with one hand. The most powerful Thunder Dragon roared, emitting a violent dragon roar, bursts of sound waves, filled with endless lightning, and crashed towards Zephyr overwhelmingly. This moment, the whole world has lost its color. Time seems to be frozen. What a powerful force. Feeling the terror of thunder and lightning, Zephyr's expression changed slightly. He quickly activated his strongest defense. Want to resist Lin Yan's attack. At this time, in Lin Yan's eyes, the mysterious Magatama reappeared. Mangekyo Sharingan is on. There was a gleaming red light on it. Illusion. He directly imprinted the illusion into Zephyr's pupils. Although the illusion is quite buggy, it is especially effective for people like Ain. But Zephyr is a Marine Admiral after all. He is a man who has experienced the devastation of this sea. Its strength, its willpower, they are all incomparable. Even if it's Lin Yan's illusion, it can only slow down the opponent for a second or two. A second or two seems short, but for a strong man. Especially for a top first-line player like Lin Yan. A second or two, enough to turn the tide of the battle. Just when Zephyr is slow, the Thunder Dragon struck the unsuspecting Zephyr with a bang. Puff. There was only a piercing sound, and lightning so powerful that ultimate was applied to Zephyr's body. Even he couldn't withstand the impact of the Brontosaurus. Brontosaurus passes through Zephyr's body. Behind Zephyr, several mountains were penetrated by the Brontosaurus, and a highway to the sky was opened on the scene. The scene is huge. The entire Saboti archipelago is shaking violently. See this scene. Ain, who had never believed that Lin Yan could kill the teacher in one round, was shocked. Her teacher, Black Arm Zephyr, was the former Marine Admiral and Marine's mainstay. Although he has now been dismissed from the rank of Marine, he is close to 80 years old, and his strength is greatly reduced. It comes down to the bottom line. He used to be a Marine Admiral. A skinny camel is bigger than a horse. Take a look at this sea. Who can say that the teacher can be defeated in one round? Even if Whitebeard comes, he can only sigh in despair. Ain's little mouth opened into an O shape. With an expression of disbelief, he stared blankly at the man standing in the center of the thunder and lightning. He did it. Really did it. The power is okay. Lin Yan waved his hand, and the surrounding thunder and lightning dispersed like a tide. This strength of my own. Even encountering the real Four Emperors level. He is not false at all. Not to mention the Zephyr in front of him whose strength has fallen out of the ranks of Admiral. Zephyr was defeated though, but he was dying. There is still breath left. As a party, he is the one who can best understand Lin Yan's strength. How old is Lin Yan? He looks to be in his early 20s. In his early 20s, he already possesses the power of a general. Even him. Even the top figures in the world such as Garp and Roger. They are all in their 30s or 40s. Only with sufficient strength can one barely enter this ranks. Although Zephyr was weak, he still said with an unbelievable tone, How did you achieve such an achievement in your early 20s? Listen to Zephyr. Lin Yan put his hands behind his back and said in a sonorous and powerful voice, of course it's hard work and diligence. For Lin Yan, the so-called God rewards those who work hard. The reason why Lin Yan is able to have the strength and status he has today. It has nothing to do with his hard work and sweat. His terrifying understanding, his astonishing talent. In every aspect, it is the top of the entire grand line. Said without politeness, the reason why Lin Yan is where he is today. It was through his unwavering will that surpassed ordinary people that he reached the pinnacle of the new world. So, stop talking, I'm going fishing. Diligent. Diligent? Effort. Be diligent and work hard. Can you join the ranks of generals and emperors in your early 20s? If this were said about other people, maybe they will believe it. Who is Zephyr? That was the cultivation of many admiral-level beings. Bringing countless new blood to Marine. The man who laid the foundation of Marine. He knows how difficult it is to achieve this feat. Can you still pull off a little while riding a horse? Even Ace, who has Roger's blood flowing through his veins, is only in his early 20s and can barely reach the level of a royal deputy. He is still one step away from being a general. Wanakuna's combat power has collapsed. Luffy is not counted. I believe you. You're such a bad little brat. Who are you? Seeing Lin Yan, who was always talking about cheating, Zephyr no longer worried about his strength. He wanted to know Lin Yan's identity. Lin Yan, captain of the 17th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates. Lin Yan said calmly. I learned that Lin Yan was from the Whitebeard Pirates. Zephyr also thought of the squad leader who dominated the headlines a while ago, so it's you. Team 17 has just been established and the team is short of people, so we want to recruit fresh blood. How about, former Marine Admiral, let's talk. Lin Yan said with a smile, after this battle. The two of them didn't know each other until they fought. For Zephyr, Lin Yan was still full of good impressions. At this moment, the system also sends congratulations. A task for Lin Yan. Finished. Ding, congratulations host. Task 3 has been completed. Task 3. Defeat a Grand Line super strong man. Current progress. Defeated the former Marine Admiral Black Arm Zephyr. Reward. 30 bait. Watching a task get done. Lin Yan is in a good mood. Invitation Zephyr is also becoming more and more motivated. Admiral, Marine doesn't want you, I want you. Marine has been sorry for you, I will never be sorry for you. Join my 17th Division. I learned that Lin Yan was from the Whitebeard Pirates and was the all-powerful captain a while ago. Zephyr's eyes also had waves of excitement, but I still hate pirates. I want him to join the ranks of pirates and associate with pirates. This is completely impossible. Stop trying to persuade me. You are very strong. In this regard, I admit that I am no match for you. But that's not why I joined the pirates. Give up, there's no way I can join your pirate group. Zephyr sternly refused, because I was injured before. He looked quite pale now. Is it so harsh to refuse? Lin Yan looked slightly regretful. Of course, we can't rule out a possibility. Zephyr glanced at Lin Yan. Oh? Which possibility? Lin Yan asked curiously. Kill me. Zephyr speaks volumes. Lin Yan was speechless for a long time. Zephyr looked at life and death and disagreed. Lin Yan stood up. Let's go. I don't like forcing others, since you don't want to. After listening to Lin Yan's words, Ain continued. Then you want to leave? Lin Yan looked at Ain and smiled and said, then I'll come back tomorrow. While talking, Lin Yan really left here. Looking at Lin Yan's leaving figure, Ain covered his forehead with one hand. Why are you talking so much? The next day. Admiral, after thinking about it for a day, how are you thinking? As expected. Lin Yan arrived as promised, and he couldn't wait to ask. Zephyr is now covered in bandages, but he still sternly refused. The third day. Lin Yan came to visit again. On the fourth day, rejection. On the fifth day, still rejection. When it comes to the sixth day, Ain was angry. That's enough. The teacher already hates you pirates, but you are still dangling in front of him. Are you done? Lin Yan doesn't care what Ain thinks. Speak as adults, but don't interrupt children. Child? Listen to Lin Yan's words. Ain laughed angrily. You don't seem to be older than me. Lin Yan paused for a second, and his eyes fell on Ain. Subsequently, eyes moved downward, when you see a sign of great danger. He gestured, touched his chin with one hand and said, let me tell you, I am indeed not as old as you. Ain's face turned red and she gritted her teeth. Rogue. Finally, after unremitting efforts, Lin Yan also learned about Zephyr's knot. The name Edward Wabel passed into Lin Yan's ears. Here the title, Whitebeard E. Lin Yan's forgotten memories were gradually opened up a little bit. He remembered. Zephyr's arms. It seems that it was cut off by Whitebeard E. And almost all the students on the entire ship were killed by Whitebeard E. The most critical point is, Whitebeard E was also listed as one of the candidates to be the next 7 warlords of the sea. This made Zephyr unable to accept this situation. He left Marine in a rage. How about this, Zephyr? Let's make a deal. I'll help you kill Whitebeard E. How about you join my pirate group? Lin Yan suddenly made such a suggestion. Hear Lin Yan's words. At this moment, Zephyr slowly raised his head. Do you know how strong Whitebeard E is? Speaking of Whitebeard E, the nightmare-like scene from back then flooded into Zephyr's mind. At that time, he was getting older and his strength had declined, although he no longer had admiral-level strength. But it's the same as stated before. A skinny camel is bigger than a horse. Zephyr's admiral foundation is here, but even so. But he still had an arm chopped off by Whitebeard E. This is proof enough. Whitebeard E does have the potential to become the 7 warlords of the sea. How strong he is not my business, there is only one business for me. As he spoke, Lin Yan looked at Zephyr in front of him. I just want to invite you on board. Lin Yan's words are sincere, also very hot. The hot words fell on Zephyr's cold heart, unconsciously. Zephyr, which had previously firmly rejected Lin Yan. It was actually a lot looser now. Can't help it. Zephyr glanced at Lin Yan for a moment. Can I ask you a question? You say. Lin Yan signaled to Zephyr but said it didn't matter. Why are you so determined to invite me to join your 17th division? Zephyr was curious about this. Does this need a reason? If you insist. If you see each other, it counts. The former Marine Admiral's identity counts as one. The 17th division has just been established and needs to recruit talents. Lin Yan didn't beat around the bush and answered truthfully. Zephyr was silent. He suddenly realized. He so-called hates pirates. It's just one-sided. Zephyr hated those vicious pirates. But whether it's the Roger pirates or the Whitebeard pirates, Zephyr was not so disgusted. These people are just adventurers wearing pirate skins. They know nothing about pirates. Zephyr now. It is no longer possible to avenge the original group of students. Whitebeard E is so powerful that even he can't do anything about it. Lin Yan in front of him said something. It actually gave Zephyr a glimmer of hope. And Lin Yan's sincerity. Zephyr also saw it. He pondered for a while. If you can solve Whitebeard E, can I consider your request? The knot in his heart was opened, Zephyr said thoughtfully. I've been waiting for your words. Lin Yan was overjoyed. Finished. He left here. At the same time, Shoki's Rip-Off Tavern. Welcome Light. Ah. Why are you back? Just after arriving at the tavern, Shaki screamed when she saw Lin Yan walking in from the door. Like a cat with fried hair. My whole body felt uncomfortable. This guy. Why are you here again? Stop screaming. People who don't know better think I'm molesting you. Let me make it clear that I am not interested in an ant. Needless to say, Shaki's information was the best thing for Lin Yan to find traces of Whitebeard here. Kid. Who are you calling ant? When Shaki heard the word ant, veins popped up on her forehead and she said with faint anger. I'm here to ask you about someone this time. Lin Yan ignored Shaki's gloomy look and went straight to the topic. Anyone can do it except Lao Lei. Shaki refused to reveal Rayleigh's whereabouts even to death. Whitebeard, you should know this person. Lin Yan asked. What are you doing with Whitebeard? Judging from Lin Yan's attitude, he must have found his predecessor, Marine Admiral Blackarm Zephyr. The issue is, why did he ask about the whereabouts of Whitebeard again? Shaki was very puzzled by this. As an intelligence agent, boss lady, you are a bit incompetent. Lin Yan said slowly. Well, I shouldn't have asked. After a while, Shaki also sorted out the traces about Whitebeard. He is in Marineford. Lin Yan was stunned for a moment when he heard the word Marineford. Then he lowered his head. This time, it's a bit difficult. Marineford. That's the naval headquarters. The Marshal, 3 admirals, and many vice admirals can be said to have gathered the top power of the entire marine hierarchy. As the captain of the 17th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, he is a pirate. Breaking into Marineford. Lin Yan didn't know what kind of turmoil it would cause. But you can figure it out with your toes. It will definitely set off a storm on the sea. But Lin Yan just likes to challenge these difficult things. Boss, how much does the information cost? Lin Yan looked at Shaki and asked. Talking about money hurts feelings. It's been free once before, so why not do it again? Shaki said to Lin Yan. Boss lady, you are so generous. I will come often in the future. With that said, Lin Yan left the rip-off tavern. Listen to Lin Yan's words. Shaki held a hand to his forehead. You'd better not come. The other side, Marineford. As the naval headquarters, the troops here are stable and heavily defended. There are guard towers between each post. Once turmoil occurs, the sentry tower will be delivered to all ministries as soon as possible. Marine will instantly enter alert status. Lin Yan looked over. Then he nodded. After all, it is Marine's most important base, and the defense is really not that rigorous. But even so, this is not difficult for Lin Yan. Soon, he landed at Marineford. Marineford seems to be an important island under Marine's command. But actually, the archipelago is composed of Marine troops and residential towns. It is half Marine base and half residential area. This is the current situation in Marineford. Enter the residential towns. Lin Yan inquired in many ways, under normal circumstances. Looking for Whitebeard is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Don't forget it. Because Whitebeard recently became one of the candidates for the 7 warlords of the sea. He and Marine are also very close, even settled directly in Marineford. To get a spot for the Shichibukai title, Whitebeard also took great pains. This also leads to Lin Yan found Whitebeard I's temporary residence almost easily. Many people say that Whitebeard is Whitebeard's biological son. Even the first and last names, they are also all prefixed with Edward. To prove this, Lin Yan specifically contacted Whitebeard through the phone bug. Ask this fact carefully, however, the result is. There is no theory that Whitebeard has any biological son. Hear this. Lin Yan knows what to do. Talking about Whitebeard. After a long wait, Marie-Joy and the others also finalized the quota. With his excellent strength, Whitebeard naturally became the new 7 warlords of the sea. What needs to be done next is, Marine releases news, informs the sea, announces that the new Shichibukai will be headed by Whitebeard Edward Wable, etc. However, just when everything was going as planned, a sad news. The sound echoed through Marineford overnight. Whitebeard died. That night, the moon was dark and the wind was high. As Whitebeard reveled in the joy of becoming the new 7 warlords of the sea. Little did I know. Danger. It's slowly approaching. On the street, there was no one around and it was very desolate. The bells in the auditorium rippled and resounded throughout the countryside, announcing that the full moon was in the sky and midnight was coming. Are you Edward Weeble? Lin Yan slowly walked to Whitebeard and asked. In front of him, he was a fat man with a runny nose and dull eyes. He looked like a mentally retarded child. Except for the inverted beard, there is absolutely no resemblance between him and Whitebeard. Who are you? Edward Wabel was confused. That's right. At this moment, Magatama flashed out in Lin Yan's pupils. Mangekyo turns on again. The illusion is activated. Suddenly, Edward Wabel was hit by Lin Yan's illusion. The whole person froze in place. The next second, Lin Yan's hand flashed with lightning. A long blade formed from Thunderfruit's lightning appeared in his hand. Lin Yan raised the knife and dropped it. Stab it. A touch of blood waved into the night sky. To be able to defeat the former Marine Admiral, Edward Wabel is not weak. But the appearance of Lin Yan, it was so sudden. Add to this the almost unsolvable Mangekyo Sharingan. Edward Wabel is 7 warlords of the sea. The hatred fell into Lin Yan's hands on the spot. The next day, when the body of Edward Wabel was discovered in the street, the bloodline has also dried up. As soon as the news came out, there was an uproar throughout Marineford. Snapped. As the marshal, Sengoku was furious and slapped his hand on the table. He stood up suddenly and said, "What on earth is going on?" "This, Marshal, we don't know either." In the conference room, feeling Sengoku's anger, Lieutenant Junior Grade said with a cold sweat. It was just yesterday that Edward Wabel was announced as the next 7 warlords of the sea. The result was a blink of an eye. Edward Wabel died. The key is, died in their Marineford. It is said to be the most heavily guarded place in Marine and the safest place in the entire Grand Line. If this news gets out, what would people on the outside think of them Marineford? No doubt, their naval headquarters will become the laughing stock of the outside world. Can the news be suppressed? Sengoku asked in a slightly deeper voice. I can't suppress it anymore. Lieutenant Junior Grade shook his head. The moment Edward Wabel died, the media reports already gathered in their Marineford rushed in. Those who take photos, and those who collect information. I am afraid, the slow hands and feet have already made newspapers. The quick hands and feet may have spread the newspaper to many places in the Grand Line. Check. We must get to the bottom of it. Sengoku gave an absolute command. The death of one of the 7 warlords of the sea is not a big blow to Marine. The strong men on the sea grabbed a lot of them. They can bring the next 7 warlords of the sea to the stage at will. The issue is, Edward Wabel died at their naval headquarters. This matter must be explained to Marie Joyce. I'll do it right now. Lieutenant Junior Grade went down quickly. Same day. The whole of Marineford is on lockdown. Large numbers of warships began to patrol within Marineford's jurisdiction. Radar is on. Not a single fly was allowed to escape. And to investigate the Edward Wabel incident, Marine even dispatched 2 or 3 troops, with tens of thousands of people. Pity. No matter what efforts Marine makes, the end result was nothing. As the news gradually spread, the whole sea stirred up a wave. To know, Marie Joy has just declared Whitebeard to be the 7 warlords of the sea. However, the thrones of the 7 warlords of the sea are not yet warm. Immediately afterwards, Edward Wabel died like this? Although his death was very strange, but that's not what everyone is paying attention to. Notice, Edward Wabel has only been in office for less than a day. In other words, he had only been a 7 warlords of the sea for a day. Then I played GG happily. Why? The speed of this GG. It can be called the worst 7 warlords of the sea in history. Of course, after several days of investigation, although Marine did not find the person behind the scenes, but I also found a little bit of clues. The day before Edward Wabel's death, some people have seen traces of the Whitebeard pirates in Marineford. A member of the Whitebeard pirates. Hearing this, even Sengoku frowned deeply. If it were anyone else, Sengoku must get to the bottom of it. But when this matter involved the Whitebeard pirates, Sengoku knows. He had to stop. Go ahead, there is no need to investigate this matter anymore. If we follow this clue, we will definitely be able to find out the mastermind behind it, but once we do this, the Whitebeard pirates will be involved. Involving the Whitebeard pirates is a situation Sengoku doesn't want to encounter. Just a while ago, Ace, the captain of the 2nd Division of the Whitebeard pirates, has been secretly escorted to Marineford by the Blackbeard pirates. Sengoku aims to regain Marine's status as the dominant player in the Grand Line. He was already planning against Whitebeard. and it happened that the captain of the 2nd Division fell into the hands of their marine. Sengoku understands. This is their marine's once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A chance to defeat the Whitebeard pirates, said without politeness. The entire Marineford is preparing for the next summit war. The more critical the situation is, the less likely it is to create extraneous problems. This is why Sengoku is unwilling to investigate further. What should I do if I scare the snake? Marshal, why is this? Lieutenant Junior Grade is very puzzled. You don't need to know about this. In addition, regarding the title of 7 Warlords of the Sea, let's give it to Blackbeard and the others. Sengoku said nothing and let Lieutenant Junior Grade do what he wanted. I see. Left here with Lieutenant Junior Grade. The entire martial conference room suddenly became quiet. As a marshal, Sengoku stood tall. He came to the balcony with his hands behind his back. The sea breeze blows. The robe behind him chirped, and the 2 big characters, Justice, on it were particularly eye-catching. Looking at the sea in front of me, Sengoku's eyes were complicated and full of vicissitudes of life. Finally. The reckoning of the old era is about to begin. Sabaody Archipelago. The recent news of Whitebeard II's death in Marineford. It has already spread throughout the world. Zephyr naturally saw the headlines in the newspaper. No doubt. All this was done by Lin Yan. He actually did it. Zephyr lay on the chair with mixed feelings, looking at the blinds quietly. Now. After learning about the death of Whitebeard it felt like a huge burden had been lifted from my heart. The whole person can breathe a sigh of relief. Perhaps dismissing Marine is indeed a wise choice. At least I met you on the Sabaody Archipelago. Zephyr leaned against the wall and slowly raised his head. He left Marineford because he was extremely disappointed with Marine. However, this has only just passed. But such an earth-shattering incident occurred. So much so that Zephyr was slightly in a trance. Squeak. At this time, their door was pushed open. The moment the door was opened, the sun shone in and reflected on Lin Yan's body. At this moment, he looked so dazzling. I am coming. Lin Yan walked in from outside. Sit down. Zephyr did not drive Lin Yan away when he saw him like before, but asked him to sit down first. Ain on the side obediently brought a chair to Lin Yan. At the same time, she also had soft eyes and whispered softly, "Thank you." The incident with Zephyr's broken arm. Ain is one of the few survivors. She can understand Zephyr's current mood and regret. Same. She is also very grateful to Lin Yan. Hey, where is the temperament of that tough little tigress from before? Lin Yan asked with a smile. Extraordinary. This time Ain did not refute. She continued to whisper softly. What happened back then has always been a knot between my teacher and me. Thank you for helping us. Listening to Ain's heavy words. Fine. Lin Yan didn't want to continue joking anymore. He nodded slightly. Lin Yan killed Edward Wabel at Naval Headquarters, their designated 7 warlords of the sea. Marine was disgraced. Aren't you afraid of Marine's revenge? Zephyr put down the book in his hand and asked Lin Yan. Being grudged? I think instead of being resented, it would be better to say Marine is ignorant. Who is Black Arm Zephyr? He was the man who laid a solid foundation for Marine, but because of a Whitebeard they abandoned this admiral. Marine's vision is not very good in this regard. Lin Yan said. For Whitebeard he vaguely recalled a lot of memories. After Summit War, Whitebeard was killed, Ace was killed. 10% of people lost 70%. The Whitebeard pirates have never recovered since then. But the greater danger is yet to come, in addition to the suppression of Marine and Blackbeard pirates. Whitebeard was also the culprit responsible for the destruction of the Whitebeard pirates. This time Lin Yan raised his knife and dropped it. One is for Zephyr. Secondly, it is also to protect the Whitebeard pirates from threats in the future. Zephyr heard this. His head gradually lowered. 2. Do your duty for the rest of your life. But it can't match the few days of Whitebeard What a sad thing. Since Marine's vision is not very good, there is someone in front of you who is always looking forward to you joining the team. How about it? Have you thought about it now? Join my pirate team. Lin Yan once again extended an invitation to Zephyr. A rare smile appeared on Zephyr's vicissitudes of life. The wrinkles have loosened up a lot, in fact. As early as when Lin Yan offered to help him get rid of Whitebeard Zephyr has already made his decision, in Lin Yan's expectant eyes. Zephyr's answer was just one word. Okay, teacher. Ain also had tears in his eyes, after letting go of the burden. Zephyr said to Ain. Ain, please inform me. The idea of creating Neo Marine is temporarily eliminated. Neo Marine is a dangerous idea. Sooner or later, it will be surrounded and reviled by all parties in the future. It is not a good job. Besides, if you want to leave, the teacher won't stop you. Ain shook his head firmly. No, I will always follow you, teacher. That's all. With Zephyr's agreement, this matter was also successfully completed by Lin Yan. From this moment on, the former Marine Admiral Black Arm Zephyr became a member of Lin Yan's 17th Division. But Zephyr also made several demands. Before joining, I have to make a 3-part agreement with you. I have several demands, and you have to agree to them. You've said that, so let me add something to you. Lin Yan shook his head and signaled to Zephyr that he did not need to make any requests. He said, what I would like to add is that I will approve all your requests. You are too hasty. Zephyr couldn't help but sigh. Ha 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 ha. Lin Yan smiled happily. This was the first time he had established the 17th Division. The happiest day. By the way, how many people are there in your 17th Division? Ain looked sideways. She was curious about this issue. You've got to ask the right person. Before Zephyr joined in, I was the only one in Division 17. Lin Yan said with pride. 1. Ain was speechless immediately. What the hell is that pride on your face? A one-man squad. Are you proud? You have to eat in one bite. Why don't Zephyr and you join in? Now there are 3 of us. Lin Yan said. When Zephyr left Naval Headquarters, hundreds of people followed Zephyr and quit Marine. They are all students of Zephyr, same as Ain. Everyone regards Teacher Zephyr as the person they respect the most. Now, I learned that Mr. Zephyr gave up on forming Neo Marine. This group of people immediately came to find Zephyr to find out. Learned that Zephyr joined the 17th Division. Many students were confused at first. Doesn't the teacher hate pirates the most? Why? Soon. When they learned the news of Whitebeard II's death that made the headlines in the past 2 days was when he was killed by Lin Yan. Especially when he was killed right under the nose of Marineford Naval Headquarters. The hearts of many students burst into panic. All eyes fell on Lin Yan, in front of Marine. Kill one of them 7 warlords of the sea. This. The students don't know their teacher's feelings. However, the strength of Whitebeard E lies here. They have more than enough ambition but not enough power. However, everything comes to Lin Yan, to invite their teachers on board. 7 warlords of the sea. Whitebeard E will kill them as they say. Act resolutely and decisively. This is too scary. Is this the strength of the captain of the 17th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates? Everyone looked at Lin Yan. They all became odd. Then, because they originally followed Zephyr and left Marine together, planning to form Neo Marine. Now Zephyr joins the 17th Division. What reason did they have to disperse? There were more than 200 people at the scene. All follow Zephyr and join Team 17. From now on, you are our squad leader.